Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Holloway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, everybody, bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. I don't have to talk about We Funder anymore today, D'Anthony. It's over. It ended last night at midnight. It is all done. And thanks for investing with us. You guys got over 15% of the company over there. Now it's up to us to keep selling this out everywhere. I learned a weird thing about Montana yesterday. Yeah. I didn't know this.
What about it?
True story. So I told you guys we're in Albertsons in Montana. We're in Albertsons in Idaho. And I'm on the phone, and they're like, hey, so it's in half the states. They don't say the whole state. And I'm like, why is that? And they're like, well, you got to go to some other distributors and everything else, and it's due to, like, shipping lanes. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, river, boat, sea, what are we doing here? What's a shipping lane these days? And he goes, no, so some of these deliveries to Montana and Idaho, they shut down, I guess, the roads through the 1st of May, and then maybe the beginning of September, I think he said. So they shut down these highways because it's just blizzards, and you can't drive trucks through there.
The passes, yeah.
That's it. That's
the
what
mountain
it is.
passes,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And
It happens in eastern Washington and Oregon, less so in Washington, more so in Oregon. That eastern pass gets shut down sometimes because it's just like there's no way to even manage it.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
in a bad year.
I had no idea.
Some years it's not a big deal, but in a bad year.
Yeah, I had no idea. And he goes, yeah, so, the shipping passes will open up here in just like, a couple weeks. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you just shut down like a whole thing for like 6 months? And he goes,
the straight up Oregon Trail up there.
I know,
dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, this is old school. And he goes, have you never been to Montana or Idaho? And I go, you know what? It's weird. The 3 states I think that are left for me out of all 50. No, I got 4 on my list. Alaska, Montana, Idaho, and Oregon. That's it.
No, you've been to
I've been to Oregon. Washington. So that's the 4 left for me, which is wild. So, yeah, I did not know that. And you can blame me for being dumb because I've never been to your states. However, every single person I've talked to said it's lovely. They have no desire to move anywhere else. And everybody who's been posting Hard AF Seltzer cans and pictures from Montana, you look at these photos online and you're like, God damn it, I'm living in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'm living in the wrong place.
Yeah, Lauren and Chris moved up there.
Did they really?
Yeah, they built their own house and all kinds of shit.
Man, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then as the state that we're living in continues to go full retard on a daily basis, yeah, man, I understand wanting to move out into the middle of the woods in nowhere because this is getting fucking crazy.
Well,
here.
before we tell the story about Texas, I was curious. We were talking about retards before the show.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Do you think there's a Down syndrome fetish?
Yes, I do. And I'm seeing it a lot more lately.
What do you mean? This is just like, you're talking about the women that are using that filter to make themselves look like tards?
No. I'm talking about the one in I think it's Brazil. Delco. We did it on Ross Patterson Revolution.
Yeah, she was in Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
Yes. So her online videos and photos are popping up everywhere with like polls of like, would you not, and everything else. So I definitely think it's a fetish. I just don't know what the rules are.
Who does? Who knows?
Because, I mean, I look at the Shannon Sharp thing that's going on right now. He's had this girlfriend who was 19, who he's been choking out and having violent sex with, where he's walking her around on a dog leash. And he says, it's all consensual, which it appears to be, based on the text messages and everything else that was released. Why these people keep filming themselves fucking, I have no idea. But, the sex tape's in there, and he goes, look, you're going to see a 10-minute sex tape, and it's going to be me choking her, and that's just what we're into, and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, okay. And he's not doing ESPN here. So after that, I was like, yeah, the Down syndrome thing makes sense. If that's your fetish, but you still got to get past that mental point of if they're over 18, are they a consenting adult then at that point? And I don't know what the answer is.
I don't either. Bob?
Let me look up what their contract situation is in terms of like if they can sign a contract on their own.
Yeah, that would be the probably as far as case law goes. It's probably the one to look up.
But if you're, let's say here, right? What is the age of consent? 16 or 17 or whatever it is down here in Texas?
It's 17 in Texas. Well, actually, Texas might be an 18 state. There's 7 or 8 states that are 18. The rest are 17 or 16.
Okay. I think Texas is 6. I think it's lower. Either way. How would you get tried for that if you were having sex with a...
It's 17 in Texas, yeah.
17, yeah. Okay.
That, by the way, 17 is the majority of states.
Yes, okay.
It appears to be a case-by-case basis.
For women with Down syndrome.
Yeah. So, like, if they're...
How retarded is she exactly?
I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, a Southern lawyer, like, what's his name?
Cleavon, baby.
Yeah.
So how retarded is she, sir?
Yeah, or Stephen Root. Remember the lawyer or the judge he played in Idiocracy?
Uh-huh. He was also in I Am a Man.
Oh, yeah. Soggy Bottom Boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they might, if they're under a guardianship, so they generally can sign contracts unless they have a guardianship or something like that because they're maybe a little more disabled than their peers. In that case, the parents, I suppose, would have to consent.
Bob, you're having a hard time with this. You're struggling with this a little bit.
I feel like you need to.
He's starting to get uncomfortable about it, which obviously makes me want to ask you more questions
I'm
about
not
it, Bob.
uncomfortable about it. I'm just a little.
So what do you do? Do you walk in and you say, "Hey, Barbara, Babs, whatever the mom's name is, I want to take out your Down syndrome daughter to Red Lobster tonight. I want to treat her because it's fucking all-you-can-eat shrimp month. She can have all the shrimp she can possibly eat, popcorn shrimps, and then we're going to go home and have sex. Can you sign this paper so I can show the waiters and the waitresses before I order the whale bones? Because obviously we're going to have some daiquiris and have some fun, kind of get things going before we go back to the Motel 6 later.
You want to warm her up?
Yeah. Can you sign this form so I can have sex with your Down syndrome daughter?
I would advise getting something signed, but verbal consent would probably suffice. The problem is
from her, the daughter, or
from
the mom?
From the conservator, whomever that happens to be.
So you want video evidence is what you...
I think you should get it.
Okay, because that's what they did on Girls Gone Wild. That's how they got out of all those lawsuits, was they had the video consent. So I think just to be safe, if you're out there, and let's say this is your fetish, it's not mine, but if it is yours, I'd video the mom and the daughter, or the dad and the son, if you're gay, whatever you're into, and you want to have a little twink retard, like whatever you're going to do that night is fine. Just know that it's okay, but I would get a video consent on a cell phone or something from both of them.
And if you wanted to be, like, if you wanted to be extremely sure, just enter into some kind of business deal with the tard first.
How so? Like
I don't know. Just like, hey, do you want
a contract?
Yeah, like any kind of contract. So do you want to?
It can't be payment though, because then it's a prostitute.
No, not for sex.
No.
I mean, like you engage them in a completely separate business deal.
Okay.
Like, hey, I want you to do contract work for my company.
All right.
For 1 week. Can you sign this contract and go through those processes
Sure.
And then see if it all, like, let your business attorney handle that. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, that's a possibility.
I just want to
that's all I'm
make
saying.
sure there's no 1099s involved or W-9s or, all that other stuff tax-wise. Because then, yes, you would be paying a prostitute. And that's going to be a hard one to get out of in front of a judge, I think, of, sorry, sir. I paid the chick with Down syndrome so I could have sex with her on
look.
Fridays.
It's not a great, just in general, not a great look, I would say. So in those situations, just have your ducks in a row.
That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying.
And they love ducks.
Who
like
doesn't?
those little rubber ones
Who
that you put
doesn't?
in the bathtub with
Yep.
them?
Who doesn't, my
love
friend?
them, so.
I don't mind them either. And just for the audience here who's watching right now on YouTube, Bob, pull up a picture of this chick that we're talking about here.
Bob's probably got it bookmarked.
Yeah,
This is why he's being so cagey about this whole fucking conversation.
I know. Bob might have it, dude. There it is.
There she is.
Look, I mean, God, it's such a tough call, isn't it? Because like from far away, that looks like a chick from West Virginia. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's like if Shane Gillis had a younger hot sister.
Yeah, yes. And so you'd have to get real close, and then the vocals would be weird in bed. I'd have to wear some noise cancellation headphones or something like that.
Are you guys aware of this trend of gym girls pretending to have Down syndrome?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
So I have not heard that, and this should just be our top story here at this point. What is it, and can you pop up some of those?
Yeah, so there's basically a
plenty
filter.
of girls that are trying to like get guys to sign up to their OnlyFans by pretending to have Down syndrome.
Why?
Because I guess that's a fetish.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
is. Okay, great.
it's-
So the fetish is confirmed.
Yeah, I didn't know
All right.
that. I didn't know that's what they were doing, but that definitely confirms it because all these broads wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't working.
No fucking way.
Because they also tried the fake, like a baby doll sucking their titty or whatever.
That's
because
still going on.
Instagram won't.
Yeah. That's still going on.
yeah.
We did that on RPR where we showed endless women just breastfeeding kids that aren't even theirs. I saw this woman with 3 different kids of like 3 different ethnicities. She's just trying to pop one kid on one of these tits, dude, so she can go to your OnlyFans. So you're telling me, Bob, this girl on screen right now,
Doesn't have Down syndrome.
shut the fuck up.
No, they're pretending to
Yeah,
do
it's just a
it.
filter.
What filter
It's
is
not
that?
even a filter. It's just a girl from like the SEC.
Come on, man. What's the filter called?
That's good.
Starkville. I don't know.
Yeah, is it the Arkansas filter? Like, what is it? The West Virginia
No.
filter?
Put some respect on Fayetteville.
Hey, look,
Arkansas's
you
got-
keep saying all this stuff, but I don't know if you guys saw this. I think it's Alabama and Mississippi now rank higher in education than Massachusetts or New York.
No,
Did you see that?
California.
California,
California,
yeah.
New York.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I think Massachusetts is still fine, but they rank. I know because the San Francisco Chronicle had a really damning op-ed about this the other day about how California is beneath Mississippi, Louisiana, maybe Alabama in K through 5th grade reading.
Yep. I can tell you why, Bob.
That's rough,
I know the
dude.
answer
And
to that.
then,
It's Spanish. You're
no, it's
trying to
not.
learn English for the first 5 years.
It's not. It was adjusted for that.
Oh, they adjusted it
Oh,
for
wow.
that?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Jesus Christ. So it's
That's-
probably even worse.
That's way worse.
way worse.
And then, the data was
Holy
adjusted
shit.
for immigrants or whatever. And then both.
That's what I would have thought too.
Both New
Yeah.
York and California are beneath the southern states, some of the southern states for math.
New York, I don't understand. What's the hook there? Because it's they were dumping in all the migrants, or
Well, I think it's. I guarantee you, there's some relationship to when schools open back up after the whole lockdown shit.
Okay.
And this performance.
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
it is a liberal problem. It is not an immigration problem.
Yeah.
It is just running schools.
Well, I mean, those are
incredibly
both
poorly.
the same thing these days. But yeah, you're correct. Just like they could have pulled this shit in any given year, regardless of the immigration
Yes.
stuff.
Okay. And Gary, if I hear you sneeze one more fucking time, dude, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
I think
back
that was
there.
Bob.
No, it wasn't.
There was nobody.
It was
No, it was definitely
sneezing.
Bob.
It's right,
It was Bob
right
watching
behind
him
me.
on camera. It was Bob. Here, you want my
Right
gun?
behind me? Yeah.
I think you're hearing sneezes.
I'm not hearing sneezes. Oh
Hey, Dad.
shit! Gary just walked.
Yeah,
in.
Gary, he wasn't even in
Were
here.
you sneezing in the back?
Nobody sneezed.
No, it was Bob. Sneezed like 8 times in a row.
Rob did not sneeze.
Yeah, he did.
He did not.
Were you sneezing?
Don't know what you're talking
Play
about.
the tape back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
could.
find
Look, I want
find
to
out who
take
this
a
is.
moment to talk to everybody
God.
about Buffalo.
No, all good, dude. All good.
All right.
All good.
So
friends.
what? But just the context on that. Obviously, Richard High, who's going to be on the show Tuesday next week,
Okay, great.
is doing this whole thing in Buffalo that we talked about earlier in the week.
His story, by the way, has opened up so many other.
Oh, the floodgates are open now
for all these cities.
Yeah.
It's because I said on the show, it is not just Buffalo.
Yeah, people are going to start reaching out to make these stories more public now. Probably people in law enforcement as well that have been roadblocked by these schools are probably going to come out and say stuff now. Anyways, Gary just did a bunch of meth and decided to post 18 fucking memes about Buffalo.
I some with his own face in it.
It's like. Here's the danger of us giving Gary our social media passwords. It's like putting your 5-year-old in a room with nothing but white walls and a box of fucking crayons. And hoping that nothing happens.
Hoping that nothing happens.
But you know something bad's going to happen.
Although, Gary, it'd probably be a hard guess between who's posting what between you and I on that goddamn thing.
No, you're all the retard stuff. Mostly.
Guys, it's because of the fetish, all right? Now that we know this fetish exists, obviously these memes are doing well for a reason.
I'm kind of sad we're not doing the show live right now because I would love to be reading the comments in the chat.
Oh my God.
I'll tune in tomorrow. I think I'm going to be on a plane.
Yeah, we're going to be on a plane to Kentucky, but holy shit.
Hey, can I take a second to say something serious?
About Christ?
No. Not about the more Buffalo memes that I'm going to post later. But actually, last night I went to a comedy show.
Michael
Malice show. Dan brought me, and I showed up like 10 minutes late because I
Huge
left.
shock. I don't need to know why. You're all good.
He texted me and said, I lost my shirt. Nope. I'm going to be 10 minutes late.
Don't need to hear it. Continue.
Which is like, that's a homeless man.
You're just going to be late.
That's
all good.
That's a homeless man.
Yeah, I don't need to hear it. It's usually, my key rusted, couldn't open up the door to my house. I had to call a blacksmith. Turned out I actually just called a black guy named Smith, and then he didn't know nothing about locks. 3 of the 4 tires on my truck fell off, and sparks are flying everywhere. I'm on the way though, and you can skip all that. You can skip all the preamble, friend. How was the show?
Well, I was 10 minutes late because I lost my shirt. But when I got there,
God damn it,
they
Gary.
didn't let me sit next to Dan because the fattest woman I've ever seen was taking up 2 seats.
She
I swear to
She
God.
Southwest you.
Yeah, she was.
We call that a Southwest in the business.
She was wider than all of outside.
You know what? And you know what I did? You know what I did literally just for you, Ross?
Uh-huh.
I took a picture.
Did you?
And I will give it to Bob so we can show it real quick.
Well, we probably can't show her face.
It's
No,
not
it's
her
from the
face.
back.
Good. Oh yeah. Text to Bob. We'll pop it up on screen. Fuck it.
Ross's eye, man.
Fuck it.
All right. Anyways,
Yeah. Let's see it. I want to see it.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Text it to Bob because that has happened to me on a Southwest flight before, and I didn't know what was going to do, and I had to bring the stew over. They love being called stews, by the way.
That's what they call themselves.
Yeah, instead of stewardesses. Yeah. And I said, "Excuse me, Stu. We're kind of down to the last thing here, and this biggin's got a whole row to herself." And I go, "Where do I go?" Because there was no seats left. And it was a whole convo that went down. Turns out one of the pilots or other stews was back there, and they went up and sat in the jump seat so this fat fucker could still maintain this whole row. And I go, my God, man.
You guys are fucking losers.
God.
You have to understand when you're morbidly obese, there's things out in public that you just don't get to do.
No.
That's just how you made a decision to be a fat piece of shit.
Yep.
And now you have to live with the consequence.
Sorry.
There was I was on a flight from San Francisco to San Antonio, I think. And there was this old lady, wasn't super fat, but she was fat enough, right? And she kept pouring over onto my side.
What race?
White.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have said bean.
Yeah, no.
All right.
And she kept trying to lift the armrest. She goes, "Oh, I don't fit if the armrest is down." I'm like, "Well, then you should lose weight." I just said it to her, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
The fuck do I care? I don't care.
I can vouch for this, by the way.
Yeah.
He has said this before.
Yeah, and then the I don't know, the fucking stewardess,
Stu,
the sky cunt,
yeah,
comes over and is like, what's going on? I'm like, this woman keeps trying to do this shit. Now I paid for my seat. I didn't pay 3/4 price. Right? I paid full price, which means I'm going to get my full fucking seat, and this fat retard is going to stay out of my space. She's like, "Oh, yeah, ma'am, you need to stay on your side, obviously."
Yeah. And what did she do? Suck it in for the rest of the flight?
Campbell, why are you being so rude? I'm like, I'm not being rude. You are invading my personal space because you have a lack of self-control. That's what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're too fat for a fucking seat on an airplane, get rich enough to buy the whole fucking plane or multiple seats, or stay at home right?
Yep.
Just go out to the pig trough that you fucking got fat in and live there in the mud, you fucking fat dummy.
Yeah.
But, obviously that's too many words. So I just told her to get the fuck off my side.
Of course. Now, Gare Bear, let's see your fat retard here who decided to do this.
Yeah, so it's on
Which
the right.
one? The
right there.
chick in the red?
The fat one there. Ross.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't
Yeah,
even
in the
capture
red.
how large she is.
Zoom in. My God. Because there's something else weird going on in this picture. Is that guy missing an arm in front of her?
No, he's just tilted.
arms
to
are crossed.
Yeah. his
Oh,
arms
they are.
crossed, yeah.
All right. I was like, man, what kind of show did you guys go to last night?
Well, it's Michael Malice.
What
so.
the fuck did you go to last night?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at this chick, and she's white?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was her and her sister. And take a wild guess what her sister looked like, Ross.
I'm gonna say she was maybe 10 pounds lighter.
About 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah, the two of them, dude. And you know what? I heard they were triplets, and they fucking took turns eating the other sister. And then this one-armed guy here, boy, what is that?
Well, he got his arm eaten by her. So he was leaning his arm back on the table, and she thought it was part of the chicken nuggets.
That was the snack there? Yeah, because that guy is missing a fucking arm right there, man.
might be.
Other that, or he's double jointed, and he's just backed up, man. Where the fuck were you? This is a weird crowd, man.
Weird fat crowd, yeah.
All right. Well, luckily you're still alive. You guys didn't get eaten up, gobbled up. That would have been on a nature nook or something like that. And proud of you, Gare Bear.
Thanks.
And if I see one more buffalo in me, you're fired. Okay?
Yeah.
Love you. Love you so much. Okay? Nope. Let's get to the news, shall we? Texas. It's time to leave. I don't know what the fuck's going on down here. The Texas House has passed HB 366, a bill that criminalizes distributing fake images of politicians intended to affect elections without an approved government label. What? The bill targets political advertising that uses altered media, specifically media created or manipulated through AI to misrepresent a candidate or office holder's appearance, speech, or conduct. Individuals of political committees spend over $100 on political advertising or distributing such content must include a clear disclosure if the media is artificially generated or manipulated to depict events that did not occur. So this is essentially memes at this point. However, Instagram already offers this. It is an AI tab. So does Facebook and pretty much everybody at this point, right? So what are we saying here? Because what I actually watched this live last night as this was going on, because I was like, there's no way the House is going to pass this. And they did here down in Texas. And as I was watching this go down, I'm like, oh, fuck. I bet you Crenshaw and Wheelchair and that dipper down in San Antonio, Gonzalez, who we hate, Jasmine Crockett. God, I mean, it's all politicians from all sides of the aisles here in Texas that are just fucking horrific. Probably got together and looked at our Instagram and they were like, it's these guys.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Well, I'll tell you what. So the disclosure...
They want you to have a disclosure.
Yeah,
right?
the disclosure, and it's a government-approved label on your speech, which this is not happening. I can tell you right now. I'll get to that in a minute. But the disclosure must indicate that the media is not real. The Texas Ethics Commission is tasked with determining the specific format, font size, and color of the disclaimer to ensure consistency with other political advertising disclosures. Now, the Texas Election Committee is not elected by anybody.
No.
So no unelected person is going to pass a regulation that says what I can and can't do. Just right off the bat. The regulations apply to political advertising intended to influence elections, focusing on content that misrepresents candidates or office holders. But in the bill, it's very vague and can apply to anybody that reshares it as well, or anybody that posts something in general, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't just apply to political campaigns and shit like that. The bill's text does not explicitly target memes or satire, but focuses on manipulated media and political advertising. But the broad language has sparked debate about its potential application in less serious content. Failure to include the required disclosure is classified as a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in prison.
Yep.
And a fine of up to $4,000.
Yes.
I can promise you this: we will be breaking this law as soon as it takes effect.
Fuck
you.
The second it takes effect.
So the Texas Senate hasn't voted on it yet. The House passed it. Mm-hmm. So the Texas Senate still has to vote, and then the governor has to sign it for it to become law. And if all that happens, I promise you that we will be breaking that law on a regular fucking basis.
Oh, 100%. And like, I hope AI is there. Like, I wish we had the company. Ryan, did you ever fake Ryan? Did you ever figure out that AI company that does the black dudes, spring break, fat boy spring break?
No.
We got to figure out what that is, because here's what I want. I want Governor Abbott, a younger one, like a younger Forrest Gump Governor Abbott, running through the woods again. And I just want endless fucking trees trying to knock him down over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Until it finally takes him out.
I think we should buy a logging company and then just start buying properties around where he lives.
And to
start cutting down trees.
But I think AI can do it. And what's happening here? Are you on Grok?
Yeah.
Please dial this in right now. Governor Abbott's getting chased by another tree.
I typed in him fighting a tree.
Fighting a tree. Okay. Let's see what the...
Does it put him in a wheelchair?
Is he still in a wheelchair?
No.
I don't even mind that.
He's not.
He's standing up.
It's just he's not fighting it. Grok's pictures are kind of whatever.
Try Sora.
I agree, man. AI is not really there yet. There's some outside companies that you can hire, but the one that I was in touch with was very, very expensive. And I'm like, don't you just own the software, you fucking dicks? Yeah, look at this shit. God damn. Is this on Sora right now? Do we pay for this?
No.
So if you paid for it, could you get the cool shit?
Yes.
I'm in. How much is that?
I've got it.
Oh, great. Because I want to see Abbott just fighting trees, attacked by wolves, whatever the fuck it is. But all of these Texas politicians, man, are ruining this fucking state. It's becoming California. I said this, 5 years ago when we moved here. I was like, man, if you're not careful, this is going to be California within 10 years. Mm-hmm. We're cutting that time in half right now. Because it's not just this bullshit of posting political memes will get you a year in jail. It's the property taxes down here. It's the $39 billion they're sitting on in a fucking slush fund with everybody's property taxes that they're actually not using. It's the property taxes that they just increased, which is another $2 billion to $3 billion, I believe, that they just passed. We're trying to get that guy on the show. There's only one politician here who's trying to fight the whole state by himself here, and I love this guy. He's very smart. He reminds me of Andrew Bailey.
There's a couple. Harrison
is my favorite.
Braxton McCoy is one. There's
so
a
I
couple.
don't know Braxton.
Yeah.
But
There's a couple.
Guys, you were more than welcome to come on the show. We are with you here, man, because this bullshit has to end. And last night, I get a fucking text message from a... God, how do I fucking word this?
Colored?
No. A sports commissioner in the area is all I can say. I won't say what sport or anything else. And he goes, hey, we're having problems staying competitive on the field like as the years go by. You coach all this shit or whatever, and you're the one that's recommending half of these kids to move up and everything else. And I go, yeah. And he goes, what do you think the problem is? I'm just trying to get an answer here from everybody in the community and people coaching and all that other shit. And I go, I can tell you exactly what it is. When we moved here in 2020, I hopped back in to coach immediately just to get my kids adjusted, just to get them into sports, meet new friends, and all that other stuff, right? I will only do it if they ask, and they did. And I said, dude, Dad's here. I'll help you out. From 2020, everybody was aggressive. It was Texas. It felt like Texas. I felt like this is what we moved here for the freedom and all the shit we hear about Texas and love. And by the way, the real Texans are still great. The problem is, over the course of this 5 years, all of these fucking people who've moved in from California, it has made it softer. These parents are fucking helicopter parents. They're all goddamn worthless. And they're teaching their kids all this fucking bullshit. And then it's starting to spread over into politics.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it over and over and over again. And the political shit that I saw at Founders Day up here, which is like the town fair, like the big town fair up here, is fucking nuts, dude. Where it's like, It never used to be like this.
No, it's fucked, and it's like there.
And it's happening so rapidly.
Yeah, the way things are going right now, I won't be here much longer.
I understand.
And we're perfectly capable of moving
to
back
wherever
to North
we want,
Carolina.
or wherever we want.
Which is where, like, your parents are still there.
Everybody.
There's no fucking point in putting it, like, it's.
It doesn't matter.
There's some convenience to being here right now because it's centrally located in the country and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But there's nothing tethering us here.
And if this passes and this gets worse and worse, like, I don't know what you do here. Like, for real. Like,
fucking leave. There's nothing else to do.
But it's not,
Bob.
But we talk about Republicans and Democrats all the time, like, right or left or leftist or this.
Republicans.
This is Republicans, and I'm using real heavy air quotes for the audio listeners here because they're fucking rhinos that are helping getting these bills passed.
I mean, guys, this is not anything new to Texas.
How so?
This is the Texas GOP has been operating, doing stuff like this as long as I've lived here. And also, your complaint about Californians moving here predates me, and I've lived here over a decade. Like, it's not, it hasn't.
Yeah,
been
it started
with
it started with Rick Perry recruiting people from California to come out.
No
here.
shit.
I have lived here 11 years, and everything you've said, I have heard people say in 2012, 2013, 2014.
But by the way, everybody said the same thing who has lived here for 20 years of like, man, Austin used to be rad and all this other shit and everything else.
Are the three most common words used.
I know. I hear it all the time. Austin used to be.
Yeah, and
Austin
you know what I
be.
say to those people, and I'm not saying there's not problems, but I say to those people, cool, send all that shit to like St. Louis or something, a city that might be grateful fucking for it. Like,
yeah, no shit.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
You have champagne problems. Like, you don't have actual problems.
Bob, I 100% agree, and that's what I tell them as well. I'm like, you're creating your own shit, and also you can pay for it, and that's why you don't fucking care. So it's like, I just don't know how real people get through this on a day-to-day basis.
The Texas GOP, in a lot of ways, is as corrupted as like a California
Democrat, yeah. When there's no competition, when the other side doesn't have power, you get the biggest cunts in the world on your side.
I would argue, Bob, that it's California 1, Texas 2.
I wouldn't.
As far as competition goes,
and what I was going to say earlier, and I'll say it now, was that one thing that insulates Texas to this a little bit compared to California is that these people are typically more on the side of free markets and a free economy and that type of thing, which insulates it from things that California doesn't, because California is more anti-market, anti-free.
Yeah. There's more mission creep there. Stuff gets out of hand quite a bit more rapidly in California. And they have ballot measures, which is a whole fucking scam, to be honest. Like, sometimes it sucks that we don't have them to go directly to the people, but the way they work in California,
it's bad.
It's not great.
I think ballot measures are a good thing. I think ballot measures should be in every state. I think it's a conservative thing to have ballot measures in every state. But there has to be some sort of regulation to it.
There does. Because, by the way, I'm voting on one after work today. It's for the schools. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen the signs on the way back up to your house.
But that's a county one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But still, I'm grateful for that, where it's just like, all right, great. So I can go in and do that and vote and all that other shit. Tell me about the Rick Perry thing, because that I'm curious, because I was not living here.
Yeah, you lived in California at the time. Do you not remember Rick Perry going to California a bunch of times and recruiting businesses and people to move to Texas? From like 2012 to 2015, that time period?
Before that. So he was the governor right after Bush.
Okay.
So he was in...
But it was even after he was governor, he was still doing it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
But here's what I remember, Bob, and tell me where this went off the rails, because I genuinely want to know the answer to this. I remember him going to California and pitching this to businesses, but the pitch was, we have no state tax.
And they were giving him juicy tax deals to move here and build.
Correct.
Yeah, so they gave one to, not him, but Wheelchair gave one to Black Rifle, 7 years of no property taxes.
No
shit. To move the company here. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I believe that was the case. And by the way, Rick Perry was governor.
Which is a great deal. If you're a business, you take that deal. Yeah. If somebody offered Hardy F. Seltzer that, yes, no taxes for 7 years.
Yeah, Rick Perry was governor from 2000 to 2015. So I think it was like 2012 to 15 where he was doing that recruiting, if I'm not mistaken. Because I was living in California at the time. I remember it being an issue there.
Okay.
But he could have started sooner. But it was like 4 or 5 years that he was doing that shit.
So was he doing it in earnest and then it just backfired? Or
Yeah, like he was
do you
trying to
think
get businesses here.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
define backfire, right? It's still a red state. The economy has been a fucking 90-degree angle. I mean, just the economic output, the growth of the state. So obviously, you're not going to only get good things out of that, right? There is going to be side effects to that. To say whether it's a success or not, I think Texas is arguably a top 3 most successful state in the country, if not the most successful state in the country. So overall, it might have worked. And now there's just cultural pushback because that's an obvious side effect of inviting different people to come work in your state. Like, you can't go in there and be like, we want your business to come and only bring the Republican voters. Or
Yeah,
only bring the non-sensitive fathers. Or, you know what
Totally,
I mean? Like,
yeah. And I think, by the way, that's a bigger overall issue for the United States, where if we're having a cultural issue here, right, from Californians to Texas, with maybe not the same beliefs or ideals as us, imagine all these fuckers from other countries coming in and then wanting us to adapt to that, which we'll get to that story later. And okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we weren't here during that time period, and the 2 times that I shot films here over the last 20 years or whatever, there was tax incentives, so there was a reason to be here.
They're going to start up again soon, by the way. Tax incentives for filming in Texas are coming back.
Well, McConaughey and Harrelson are pushing for $700 million right now. And
Which is
there's
super
some pushback.
That's low.
Oh, I agree.
It should be probably in the 5 to 10 billion range, in my opinion.
I agree. And if you want to really knock out Hollywood, you're going to have to bump up those numbers. However, there's been pushback from taxes because where does that come from? And they're like, well, we're going to have to raise property taxes. You don't.
By the way, so Texas is a huge state to move to, not just for California. It's for the whole country. Like all the amount of Midwesterners I know here, right? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like for Missouri, for example, if you're from Missouri, you're probably moving to Texas or Chicago.
A lot of Pacific Northwesterners too, because of the politics up there moving down here.
But I just looked it up just to get a rough data number. Take this for what it is. Quick and dirty Google search.
Sure.
It's not that many Californians that have moved here when you think about the overall. The average is apparently about 70,000 a year. Californians moved to Texas in the last 10 years.
70,000 years. So you're looking at 700,000
in a state of 30 million people.
I mean, that's 1 out of 30 essentially. Because let's say they're off by 300, 400K. That's still 1 out of 30, and that's enough. Like that's the beginning of it. Which is why like the Muslim shit and everything else here, like. You still got to cut that off because it's just going to keep going over and over and over again. But
I mean, Trump got the highest percentage of votes for Republican in Texas than any president since George W. Bush in his 2 terms.
Yeah, he was the fucking governor here,
Texas
and that was in 2000.
Yeah.
Texas was creeping purple, and Trump pushed it pretty far back in his last.
Yeah.
And before him, like Dole and HW won here, but. It was like 40. HW, and again, you have to take into account Ross Perot was in the mix for those 2 elections, but it was quite a bit lower. And then HW against Dukakis, without Ross Perot in the mix, still didn't get as much as Trump did.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Reagan did in his 2nd term, but not in his 1st term, right? So it's like it's as Republican now as it ever has been.
Right, as far as numbers go, yeah, which is strange, man. Because
it's like to Bob's point, it's a lot of Midwesterners, a lot of Pacific Northwesterners that are moving here. It's not just California people.
Well, it's not that. I think
the California people are just active in politics. That's a problem.
That's what I'm saying,
right?
and I think the reason I don't see it is because all the fucking cities we go to and work in on a daily basis are Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. Those 4 cities are all blue. So maybe I'm just skewed because I'm seeing only the blue cities that we work in. Because let's face it, I'm not out in Lubbock. I'm not out in, I finally went to State College a few weeks ago for the first time. I'd be shocked if there was a Democrat living in that whole area. But so I understand that. And it could be skewed just because of where I work and live.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a nice area, and fucking liberals are going to try to move in and capture nice areas because they're parasites.
Well,
so, Bob, check the email. So I think I may have delivered.
You got something there?
Look at that.
You got a little something fun there for everybody?
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Look at the tree, too.
Tree's bowed up.
Yeah, I mean, the face.
Shit, yeah.
That tree's not fucking
that's
around.
Jimmy Tree Legs versus Governor Abbott right there, dude. Let's go.
Which, I mean, this is happening in the spring, so Jimmy Tree Legs wasn't at full power, and he still took Abbott down.
Is it weird that AI really fucking juiced up Abbott here to make him look like some goddamn hero?
Well, I mean, you want him. I said make it look like he was fighting.
But yeah, but he looks like he's been on some RFK HGH.
Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get his fucking legs back.
Presumably, he's got pretty jacked arms.
Well, from wheeling, right?
No, from jacking off.
Well,
He doesn't get to fuck because his hips don't work, so he's just constantly pounding it, dude.
you don't think that his wife is at least doing that?
I think he makes her watch.
Oh, in the corner?
Yeah.
And just hear the wheels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Squeaky wheels, get the grease.
Yeah.
Pour more grease in my hand, you dirty bitch. You're going to watch me jack off in the corner of my wheelchair.
That'll lead us into our first sponsor.
Sure will. MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. They're going to love this. They're going to love it. I actually do. They're the fucking best.
We're the best podcasters in the world, and we just proved it.
We did. And by the way, the advertisers actually do love it, so they don't care, which is why they're on the show. Look, speaking about feeling alive here with Governor Abbott, do you feel alive unless you got a little money on in the background and all this shit? No. The answer is no, which is why they're sending us the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Huge thank you to my bookie for this. One of the biggest gambling events of the year is the Kentucky Derby. Mentioned this the other day. I'm going to mention it again. It's Toby Keith weekend, dude. I am all in on Toby Keith. Render judgments here. Let me check out these odds. Bob, do you have any horses
Hold on.
that you're going with?
Let me look.
Because I remember texting you. You were like me. You watch the Derby every year.
I love the Derby.
So do I. It's one of my favorite days of the year. I bet on it every single year. I can't remember a year since the 90s that I didn't bet on it, to be honest with you.
I mean,
No, shit. 1 year, Klain was in the hospital. And he had a pancreatitis. He had to get his pancreas taken.
Pancreatitis,
Yeah. He had to get his pancreas taken out. And so I go, hey, dude, I'm not going to go to Hollywood Racetrack and bet today. I'll go and hang with you in the hospital and watch it. And he goes, what horse are you going to pick? He's like, you never miss. And I said, that horse fucking won, dude, when we were in the hospital. And I go, you motherfucker, dude. And we got a good laugh. Brought some weed into him. Wheeled him out into the parking lot.
To be honest, for him, that's like medicine.
That was.
If you try to keep him off of it,
He goes, bro,
yeah.
can you please bring me a bag? And I go, yeah, I'll grab a bag. So I brought it to him, wheeled him out of the hospital, and let him smoke by the loading docks. It's a true story. That's the only Derby I've not gambled on in 25 years. So, yeah, I'm all in. Who do you got, Bob?
I haven't read up on it too much. I kind of like to wait till the day of to make the bet because I want to know exactly what the
conditions are. Yeah. So I can go into that now. And then obviously the live Derby show will be up on Drinkin' Bros Sports. And then we'll include that on the live feed on Friday as well. So that way you can get your bets in on my bookie. But it's going to be a muddy track. It's going to be sloppy.
Well, they say that.
It's
now.
raining. No. It is literally pouring every single day.
Even if it stopped after today, which it's already raining there today, it would still be muddy.
It'd still be muddy. So it's going to be sloppy. No. I'm telling you, Bob.
It depends on how sloppy, and then by Friday we'll also know which horses even fucking got onto the track this week and which ones didn't.
It's definitely too. I mean, you can now, but I think usually it's smart to wait till the day of the night before.
Well, I bet.
Picture a waitress at Waffle House at Fort Bragg. That's how sloppy that track is going to be. Yeah.
Or that
it's gonna be loose
fat girl at the Michael Malice show
Both.
last night.
It's going to be loose and stinky.
I took Render Judgment at
50 to 1?
50 to 1 just because I like the name.
Well, it's Toby Keith.
Oh, is that the one?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, dude.
I just enjoyed the name, to be honest.
God, it's a Toby Keith weekend, dude. TK is going to be watching from above. Down onto the Kentucky Derby, dude.
Have they decided if they're going to put Render Judgment is up to plus 9,500 now? It's
right now
95 to 1.
Why? Wait, whoa! Is that true?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I did read up a little bit on Render Judgment, and
I got to pull up the odds.
The reviews were not good.
Hey, it doesn't matter. It's a fucking sloppy track. Anybody can win. Anyone can win on a fucking sloppy track.
Like who stumbles out of the gate?
All of it. Because the favorites aren't even practicing right now. They've kept them in the stables. They're like, hey, I don't want to risk an injury. So good luck. They're going to be gassed.
Yeah,
it's
render
these
judgment
dirty
plus 9,500.
fucking
I'm gonna
horses
put another
here.
$10 on them.
Still 50 on my bookie.
Still 50 on my bookie?
Yeah.
For render judgment?
Yep.
I'm looking at it right now. It's plus
Wait,
9,500.
he's got it up.
I
Hang
got
on.
it on screen.
Hang on. I
Plus
can't find the
5,000.
fucking...
I just betted it plus 9,500. You better refresh your page, son. You're not logged in.
Oh, you're logged in, Bob?
No, he's
I'm not logged in on this computer.
All right, let's see. Render judgment.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Is it 9,500?
There you go.
All right.
I doubled down. Now I've got
Fuck
20
it.
total.
So that
Okay.
means he's falling off the fucking map.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, the
Oh, fuck you.
I'm
this
just-
means
I'm just getting better
going
value.
full Ariana Grande.
I'm getting better value, Delco, now. That's why I took Shador Sanders in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
All right, let's see here. Get this out of my face. I'm gonna do this live on air and then text it to you. I'm gonna put 1,000 on render judgment. That would pay it $95,000. Let's fucking go. This is for Toby. Everybody with a red Solo cup out there. Toby's gonna bring this home, dude.
He's going to finish DFL.
You're crazy. You're crazy, dude. He's gonna win. I'm gonna throw my mint julep into the fucking heavens.
I'm throwing mine into somebody's face.
Yeah.
Maybe the horse.
You think I'm fucking joking here? Oh, is the max bet on this is 500? Fuck you, dude.
No.
All right. Oh, well, you got to get closer to race day. Whatever, dude. I'll go 500 right now, and then Bob, I'm gonna text this to you here. Boom! Look at that, dude.
I've got to look at this. So there's all these we're going to do a whole show on this.
The show will air, but just for the audience.
Yeah, I'm going to
here.
save these.
So you know I'm not a fucking liar, dude. I don't like to be a liar. I don't want to be called a liar. You can go ahead and should I airdrop this, Bob?
yeah, Ross's iMac.
To Ross's my own iMac. Oh boy, there it is, dude. Let's go max bet now.
Do it again.
You got it?
Do it again. There you go.
All right, so the max bet today was 500. As you get closer to race day, obviously it's going to go up. And there it is right there. Bet accepted at 500. What does that pay off? Read that to the audience.
$47,500.
Red Solo Cup. I lift you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. What didn't they like about him, Bob? That it was Toby Keith's horse?
He just hadn't done well in other races. Like
Bullshit, dude. It's liberal fucking bullshit. I bet you it's those goddamn Saudis and their horses in there, and they were like, you know what, dude? We did 9/11. Toby healed the nation after 9/11. Fuck this horse, and they're putting out bad press against Toby's horse.
Let me run this against you.
Go ahead.
You ready
Yeah,
for this?
yeah.
What if? So let's say render judgment wins, and then instead of the usual either horseshoe-shaped flowers or whatever they bring out, it's a big ass 2 towers.
Oh my God.
And the horse just walks up and kicks that fucking shit down.
Just knocks through both towers for Toby
and then all of a
Keith.
sudden over the intercom,
Red Solo. Oh no, it's what was the 9/11 song? Red, white, and blue. Yeah. My daddy served in the army, fucked your uncle in the ass. Now I'm sitting here in my yard smoking grass. I don't know the rest of the words.
those are not words that are in that song.
Whatever, dude. It's fucking Toby Keith. It's TK Day. So yeah, I'm going hard on that, and I'm looking at Cole Battle there. I'm looking at Citizen Bull and Chunk of Gold, and I'll sprinkle on for our buddy Owen Almighty there. We've got 20 horses running this goddamn thing. So let's.
He's definitely going to bet it at the track, I would imagine, because it's his kid's name.
Yes, we're all doing it.
Right.
Because I'm betting it here in my bookie and then at the track in person.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I'm all in.
Shit, I need to remember to get cat. Oh, they got ATMs there.
Yeah,
don't they?
like every 10 feet. So you're good there. The amount of money I'm throwing down on this, though, is going to be real. Because at the track, they won't stop me from going over a grande on Toby's horse.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
No. Speaking of which, one of the horses' name is Grande in this one. So I obviously got to dock those two to connect the good vibes. But tons of shit to bet on right now. If your team had an excellent NFL draft, you want to bet on the odds for the Super Bowl and all the other stuff, boom, it's open. Live casinos are open, everything. Lovemybookie.com. Only gambling website that'll work in all 50 states in America. So promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. If you're an old school homie and you lose one weekend, like I did the last couple weeks in golf by one stroke each fucking weekend, they'll give you a nice little rake back. So they'll give you some back and say, hey, loser, hey, you slap dick. Sorry you lost. We'll give you fucking $28 back on your, $100 bet or whatever it is. So they do fun things like that. I love those guys. MyBookie.com, promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. And then Toby Keith, dude. I know you'll be there in the sky above us. Yeah.
Debatable.
It is not debatable, dude. How fucking dare you? He fought and died for this nation, and you did nothing. You did nothing, dude. You sat there.
Compromised by Iran.
Yeah,
too,
dude.
Which is not great.
Toby healed all of us when you were over there. And I know it's hard for you to block out because you were over there and I was here. And we didn't know each other at that point. When I heard that fucking song, dude, burst through the radio speakers and my goddamn Tahoe out in L.A., I fucking felt alive again for the first time ever after 9/11. Toby did that for me. You've never made me feel alive. Okay? You never have. But Toby has. So we got a big weekend ahead of us here. Next up, the first 100 days as President Donald John Trump reaches the 100-day mark on his second term. Voters across the political spectrum, it's been a big theme here on this show today, the spectrum, are offering mixed reviews, praising him for swift action on key issues, while raising concerns about the pace and priorities of his administration. What I like most about Trump is that what he's doing is what he says he was going to do, whether or not you like or dislike his policies, said one independent voter. In the past, a lot of politicians said what the crowd in front of them wanted to hear, and then they did what they wanted to do. And this president's doing exactly what he said at rapid speed.
Also, not just what he said during the campaign, but the stuff he's been saying for 40 years, which is odd to me because there's a 1987, 88 appearance on Oprah.
We've played it 3 or 4 times on the show.
He talks about everything from immigration to tariff policy and foreign policy and stuff like that. The exact same stuff that he just ran on. He went from Oprah saying, oh, well, maybe you should run for president to, oh, he's Hitler.
Yep.
It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
Where do you live with his first 100 days?
Not thrilled with the way they've handled the legal stuff. I think they're having big problems right now with
When you say legal stuff, what are you referring to?
Epstein.
Okay.
I think it's been bad the way they've handled that.
I
think
agree.
There's been a lot of like boomer errors with technology that makes them look like idiots. Doesn't affect
with the signal and shit.
Yeah, it doesn't affect my opinion of people. It's just stupid, like unforced errors. The tariff stuff back and forth has gone really well, in my opinion. I think he's using it exactly like he said he was going to. We're going to end with a blanket 10% tariff on everybody at some point.
Yep.
And we'll use the other ones to negotiate with people and everybody from fucking... There aren't a whole lot of people out there complaining about the tariffs anymore. There's still a couple here and there, like Schumer and the people that are engaged politically, and then the crazies that go on MSNBC or CNN. But the people that go on CNN or NBC Business and stuff like that, CNBC, are not complaining about it anymore.
Well, and here's the hard part to argue because. Man, I can't even use Biden as an example because he's not a real person.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a real president. We all knew that. Let's use Obama, for example, okay? Obama gave the exact same word-for-word speech about tariffs on China and tariffs around the world and what we should do. Schumer, Pelosi, all of them have given the same exact speech over the years about what we should do with these tariffs regarding the rest of the world. His message today was like, hey guys, be patient. We are currently negotiating with all these countries and everything else. So yeah, man, I don't know what more you could expect out of the first 100 days. Like, for me personally, besides the Epstein thing, like, yes, I think that was fucked up. I think it's still fucked up. Yeah. And there's no answers for that.
I mean, the biggest disappointment for the first 100 days is that Congress hasn't done shit. And then, we talked about this earlier in the week, these people that are saying, oh, there's fucking people regretting their vote for Trump but they say that because people are complaining, right? because he's not done enough. Like, we want more of what he's doing.
But
that's the thing. Nobody out there is saying, oh, we should have voted for Kamala Harris instead. Nobody is saying that. What they're saying is, we want more now.
Right.
It's just, I mean, part of it is just impatience, right? Even with the Epstein thing.
It is,
if they're
because
building
we
cases,
live in
you still
a
gotta
me-now
build.
society where it's like, I want this today.
Yeah,
And it's like,
even if you're building the legal cases against people that are on the list, it's going to take time. I get it. I mean, I don't like it. I think the lack of transparency on it and the weird media stuff they've been doing, the fact that Pam Bondi spends more time on Fox News than doing her goddamn job is a problem, right?
Yes.
She's incompetent and she shouldn't be in that position. I think that's clear to everybody now. But some of this stuff does take time, and it's a function of being impatient. But the impatience is that he's not doing as much as we want soon enough. It's not that he's doing wrong stuff that we don't agree with, for the most part, right? There's going to be disagreements, but that is a completely facile and retarded argument that some people have made. And so I think this is from a Democratic voter that was interviewed. I think a big failure with the Democratic Party in recent elections is almost calling to anoint a person, with 2016 clearing the field for Hillary, similar thing to lesser extent for Biden, and now with the election for Kamala Harris. The last time we had a truly open primary was in 2008 with Obama, and that's absolutely right.
yeah.
That's absolutely right. So a lot of Democratic voters are now voting Republican or not voting or something else, voting for an independent candidate, because it's been made clear to them that what they want doesn't matter.
So, Bob, I just airdropped you a picture. If you can pop that up on screen here, because this is to your points right here. They just let this fucking guy out of jail today, right? Bernie Sanders did a whole thing about it, and it's the Colombian student who was protesting Palestine and everything else. This has become the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, you're fighting Trump on every single legal battle for immigrants, all this other bullshit to get these fucking assholes out of our country. And he's getting roadblocked by rogue judges and all this other bullshit. And then Congress. Congress hasn't done dick. I think the SAVE Act and the Lake and Riley Act, the two big ones that I can name in the first 100 days. And even those are pretty big, right? Like, so you got those through. But you still need to do more and press. You said this a long time ago on the show that you got about 9 months to really get all these bills in there to back up these executive orders, or you could potentially lose them at the next midterm election. But when you're spending all your time on this and these stupid fucking legal battles, and I mean, look at these fucking assholes. By the way, this picture was him leaving jail today. This is a whole nother country.
Yeah.
If I had told you this was New York City and not fucking Palestine or Israel, you'd be like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, I don't understand why anybody, like, with as many problems as we have in our own country, devoting all of your energy to something like this, you're just anybody that's doing this is a fucking retard, in my opinion.
Yeah, but this is what he's getting blocked on.
Yeah, I mean,
this is ICE. Yeah. This is Tom Homan, all those guys.
But the Democratic Party is splintering right now too. It's not just that they're ineffectual; it's that they're AOC is trying to play nice with everybody right now because she wants to be a legit federal candidate at some point. So she's trying to play nice, but all the people that support people like her and Bernie and all these other fucking dummies are losing their shit right now. So they're imploding. They're blaming each other for everything that's happening while feigning contempt for Trump. But it just rings really hollow, in my opinion. I mean, so the vice chair of the DNC is David Hogg. David, I suck hogs.
Yeah. Which is not great.
No, he's out there threatening to primary people, and he had to get his pee-pee smacked by the actual leader of the party. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You don't, like, I mean, you can. He's got a PAC with $25 million in it. He can try to primary some people he wants, but you've got about half a dozen Dems on a pretty regular basis the last month or so that are making the media rounds, the network circuit, saying that they're at fault for losing Americans, the working class, this, right? And then you have Schumer saying that Trump is a king, and then you have AOC and Bernie out there, like the actual leaders of the party.
Right. Saying he's an oligarch.
Saying blah, blah, all this stuff. And then, you can see the numbers very clearly. Harvard's Kennedy School Institute of Politics shows that congressional Democrats' approval rating amongst young Americans, that is to say Americans under 30, has gone from 42% approve in early 2017, that is the beginning of Trump era, to 23% today.
Yes.
23%. You don't even have a quarter of the most active part of your own party.
No.
Right?
And
you're fucked.
And let's say it is AOC and Bernie, right? Because this is being pitched everywhere. And I'm not going to argue with the crowds they're drawing. Like, for real. I think those are legit. They're drawing, 25 to 30,000 people at these rallies, which is fine. But pop that pic up one more time, Bob, the one I just sent you. When this is what you're fighting for, it's not America. So I don't understand what the messaging is and what you're trying to accomplish with this. Do you want to stop Trump, or do you actually want to help Palestine? Like, what is the message behind this? Because sending these shitbirds back to wherever the fuck they came from, who aren't contributing anything to America, they clearly don't believe in our ideals that are going on here. If you're a normal American citizen and you're watching this today, what's your answer for this? What's your answer for stopping the MS-13 Maryland father here? That's did you watch that interview last night with ABC News?
No.
Oh yeah, I saw that goddamn.
Is it
thing.
with him?
It was Trump and
that one. Yeah, I caught some clips, but I didn't see the whole thing.
But what Trump was saying was like, dude, it's on his knuckles, right? And there's another White House photo that said MS-13. Clearly, it's the symbols for MS-13. Like there's no debate about that. And why you're fighting for criminals to stay in the country who are here illegally for due process of what? Like, that can't be your whole fight here. So I don't really understand that. And as far as the oligarchy thing and all that other shit, calling Trump an oligarch and he wants to be a king and everything else, like, it's multi-millionaires screaming at a billionaire. I don't know that resonates.
Yeah. Well, now...
And then Doge. How are you going against Doge at all?
I don't know.
All they're doing is shaving off wasteful taxpayer money. That's ours. That's our own money on both sides, Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, you got to be a special kind of stupid to argue in favor of getting fucked over. And then meanwhile, Alex Soros is out there trying to convince people that Trump has the lowest approval ratings of any president in the first 100 days ever. Like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I mean, look, you can see the approval rating for the Democratic Congress right now, which that's the top level since they're not president right now.
Sure.
Right? And they're it's less than a quarter that approve of them, and they're in their most energetic part of their party. But this information is brought to you by the same people who said Kamala Harris was up 6 in Iowa.
Yep.
The same people who said that Trump's a Russian asset, that the Hunter Biden laptop's fake, that COVID came from a fucking wet market, mask work, Ukraine was winning, and Biden is sharp as a tack. None of those things are true.
Yeah.
At any point. Not one of those things was ever true. And, they still pretend like they didn't say all of this stuff. It's insane to me. These people on CNN and MSNBC and Axios and all these other publications who are like, oh, the campaign and administration lied to us about Biden. No, you said, I just met with him, Joe Scarborough, and he's as sharp as he's ever been. That's what you said. You didn't say, I heard from his people that he's as sharp as he's ever been. You said, I met with him, and he was alert and as sharp as he's ever been. You fucking lied, you piece of shit.
Yeah. And then, Bob, I'm going to send you this clip via Twitter. You can play this from last night's here because we also have some breaking news on top of it, but you can go ahead and play this from Twitter here. So this was the interview last night. I don't know this fucking guy's name. He's got one of those wonky donkey eyes. Like he was kicked in the head by a donkey and it's kind of N-word a little bit. So I don't know this guy's name, but go ahead and play this.
Hopefully a great defense secretary, but he'll be a very good defense secretary.
You have 100% confidence in
I don't have 100% confidence in anything. Okay, anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question. Look,
it's a pretty important position.
No. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview. Very good defense.
And it just keeps, like, the hits kept coming in this. And here's the next one here that I'm going to send you, Bob, from this one, because he's calling out the media, everybody else, and, like, he even goes after Biden and all of it. And, like, to me, what's wrong with saying I've got 100% confidence, or I don't have 100% confidence in anything? I don't either. Shit, I don't have 100% confidence I'm going to live through this weekend. I have no idea. So I couldn't tell you that with
I
any
would say
certainty
it's
whatsoever.
unlikely, if anything.
I'd put it at 80%, not 100. Go ahead and press play.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the
do that.
letter MS13.
It says MS13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
That
just...
was Photoshop, Terry. You can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry.
So he wouldn't let up on this. And when you see the symbols, those are clearly the symbols for MS13.
No, Trump was saying he had MS13 on the knuckles.
Right. But
he didn't. He had tattoos that symbolize, but Trump was literally saying, no, I saw the picture. It said MS13.
Correct, but that's what the symbols stand for.
No, Trump was saying he thought that the MS13
What he
was on
meant,
his
though,
knuckles.
was those are the symbols on his fucking knuckles.
I'll show you the longer clip.
I've seen the longer clip. I watched the whole goddamn interview. But the symbols on his fucking hand stand for MS13, correct?
Yes.
Apparently so, yeah, but that's not what Trump was saying in the interview. Trump was saying he has MS13. I saw it, not symbols, MS13. And the guy was saying, no, the symbols are what are being interpreted as MS13. He's like, no, that is what they're arguing about.
But that's what the symbols are, is MS13. Get this guy the fuck out of the country. Shave his head again. Put him back in that fucking cell. He has it tattooed on his fucking knuckles. Now, obviously, they put the MS13 above it to show the rest of America what that stands for, because those are the symbols.
Yes, but
no
Trump
one can
didn't-
actually walk around, except for, you get on your back or whatever, with MS13 on there. But either way, to even argue about it, that this guy should be in the fucking country last night is nuts to me. Is nuts. There is nothing you could possibly say that doesn't stand for MS13. And then last night, did you see the thing that popped up last night? Another fucking thing where the wife said, my husband is a gang member, and I am afraid of him. The New York Post published that police report last night. What is the fucking argument over this dipshit to be in our country? Like, what is it at this point?
I don't know. I mean, regardless of any of this, whether he's a member of MS-13 or not, he can be deported.
Yeah.
Right? His wife at some point charged him, and you may not agree with this, but his wife at some point filed a complaint about him being abusive. That alone is enough to deport him from this country when he's not a naturalized citizen, even if he's a green card holder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look into 8 USC 1182 and 12, whatever the fuck it is. If you look it up, you'll find the accompanying one. It's very clear that until you are a naturalized citizen, you don't fucking have the same rights to specific, exhaustive due process that everybody else does. Any mention, positively, just a mention, a casual text to somebody or a social media post or a fucking public statement that I like Hamas, for example, right? Deported immediately.
Gone.
Like, you can be deported immediately. You may not like that, but that is the fucking law. Right? So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's so on this new police report last night, I'm just going to read this word for word. She is dating a gang member. She said later on, I'm afraid of my husband because he is a gang member. Like, the symbols are right there on his fucking hands that stand for MS-13. That's it. We're all done with this guy. And again, this is the hill you're trying to fight back on for 100 days over this fucking guy? Where does that party... How do you sit there as an American citizen and be like, yeah, man, I want to vote Democrat? Because we're going to send half our fucking congressmen down to El Salvador to make sure this guy's still alive?
Yeah.
And then the other guy, the hairdresser's got the same exact symbols.
Yeah. I don't understand it from the voter perspective, but, we're not voting right now, so we don't know what the outcome would be. There's a good chance people forget all about this because obviously the left and the right will pop up new wedge issues between now and next November in the midterms, right?
Sure. And I think the lefts will have to either look, and Trump is going to do the same thing. He's going to either have to live or die on this tariff thing. Either it's going to work before the next midterms or it's not. And I think that's when the Democrats could get in there if it fails. If it does not fail, I don't see any other way they can do it. I really don't, because what is it? What's the policy that you're fighting for? I want immigrants in the country. I want this fucking guy for Palestine to get out of jail. Okay. I don't want Doge because it's actually saving us taxpayer money. What else? What am I missing here? Out of the first 100 days.
It's just a matter of messaging at this point, really. I mean,
the Epstein thing, you want to bury him on? Sure. You want to bury the boomers on using Signal? Sure. Should we have had Signal in the first place? No. But that was implemented in the last administration.
Well, I mean, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah. So
also, the U.S. government helped build Signal, and they have a backdoor to it. So if you're using it thinking it's secure, it's not. Just so you know.
Oh, I'm sure nothing is secure. That's why I just don't care anymore.
There's one, but I'm not going to say what it is.
All right. Fair enough. But out of the first 100 days, what else is there? I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
What, that's gone wrong?
Yeah.
No,
I'll agree with you on Epstein, the Signal thing, the boomer thing. Absolutely.
I mean, that's just like silly stuff.
Pam Bondi, I do not like.
No,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But you're going to miss. You're going to miss in some of these cabinet members. And by the way, he's going to fire a lot of them. He did in the last term. Half of those motherfuckers were gone.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
For Bondi?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that, but I would, if I were him, I would be looking to get rid of her pretty soon.
If I was gambling on it, on my bookie, I would place the same exact bet. But yeah, what else? I mean, the tariff thing is a wait and see issue. You're going to have patience on anything economically. People big bitched about the egg prices. That got solved in the first 100 days. Gas prices got solved in the first 100 days. What else?
The Russia-Ukraine thing, a lot of bloviating happened. We'll end it on day one or within 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. It never happened. May not, right? That's a bit of a blunder on his part. Continuing to fund Israel is not super popular with a lot of people on his side. We'll see how that plays out.
That's not popular with me either, and I'm a Trump guy.
That's something that people are currently kind of overlooking.
The Russia-Ukraine thing, if I'm going to be honest, I don't give two shits if that goes on for 50 fucking years.
Yeah, I couldn't care less.
As long as we're not giving them money.
Yeah.
They don't care. So that one, fine. That's a non sequitur. I just don't give a shit about that. Anything else? By the way, what we're mentioning is a lot. A lot for 100 days.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the most rapid execution of a plan that I've ever seen. Definitely.
Nobody's coming across the border.
In modern politics. Yeah, I mean, he shut that shit down even harder than he did in 2017.
It's nuts. And that's from all of our Border Patrol friends down there where they're like, bro, this has been a fucking cakewalk down here. It's been great. But, yeah. I mean, from the Libby boys, is there anything else like on like Trump-wise, 100 days for you guys?
It's really just we'll wait and see how the tariffs play out.
Right, because that will probably be the biggest deal next to immigration.
If prices are up and the market is down in 6 months, good fucking luck.
Yes, I agree. If the economy is shit, although the economy was shit, for 4 years under Biden.
That does not matter. In a political election, it doesn't matter if you inherited a fucking exploded nuclear weapon. People want fucking success.
But I thought there would be a red wave, and there was not. And it was that abortion issue that kicked that over.
Sometimes that'll happen, but the Republicans don't have a fucking wedge issue like that. It doesn't exist.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's going to live or die by these tariffs.
Yeah, because
if it works, then you can really get some fucking power.
I don't think it's good politics for them because right now they're succeeding at the stuff that they're doing, and the way that you would leverage that, aside from saying, "Look at what we're doing," is to try to fearmonger, and I don't think that's good politics, personally. Like, if Democrats get elected, they're going to open the border again. That doesn't ring to people. I don't think that's a wedge issue that works, honestly.
Okay.
It hasn't before because Bush. Or McCain mentioned it during Obama 1.
Well, let me ask you.
Trump talked about it during the election against Biden, too. It just that issue, for whatever reason, in the meantime, unless there are people pouring over the border, and like right now, people just don't seem to care about it.
But let me ask you personally, in 28, if a Democrat did get elected president, would they open up the borders again?
I've got a unique position on what I think is going to happen in 28, and we can just get to the next story if you want to open that up.
We get an advertiser real quick?
Yep, first form.
Firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. I don't even need to look at copy on this one today, kids. All right, I didn't take the fucking microfactors. You know why? Because I didn't go to the gym this morning. I was on the phone for like 9 hours. But I'm going to take them right now. Because let's face it, we all don't work out the way we need to, eat the way we need to on a daily basis. And that's the big guy right here today, because I'm not going to the fucking gym today, or I'll probably have Jersey Mike's on the way home. But it's important that I get the essential vitamins inside of me. They got the big 6 in here: antioxidants, CoQ10s, multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, and the probiotics. 30 individual bags. Boom, you pop them in your mouth. You're good to go. And I've been taking the liver detox all week because this weekend we're going hard at the Derby. So, yeah, I'm preparing my body for what is about to happen. But, Dan, it's not just a microfactor company. It's also a protein company. Tell us about it.
Well, Bob, didn't you say something about the liver detox being good for autoimmune shit, too?
It is also an immune pill, yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got any of those digestive issues, it's probably going to be good for that, too.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
which is good. Luckily, I don't have digestive
I
issues.
take 5 healthy dumps a day in this office.
Oh, boy.
He only shits on the man's
It is
time. Yeah.
Jackson Pollock paintings in there, dude. It's just AI.
Yeah, but the protein is great, too. I mean, it's getting high-quality protein into your body is really important. Obviously, you want to eat as much whole food as you can because that's what your body's designed to break down. But First Form does a really good job. Obviously, you can see all the athletes that use it. I mean, that's the best advertisement for it. Mm-hmm. You know, high-quality protein, get it into your body. Don't be a little bitch. No. Not everybody can do what I do, which is walk around with a fucking bowl full of bacon. You know what I mean, all day.
And by the way, that's true. I went back into when he was doing Citizen the other day. There was literally a giant bowl full of bacon as well, and First Form bars all over the place.
Yeah.
So I mean, Jesus,
I mix it up.
Yeah, I know.
I mix it up, but some people have a sweet tooth, right? And if you don't want to eat shitty sweets, I like high quality baked goods, right?
Yeah.
But
these are the best in the business.
Yeah,
These level 1 bars, dude, give you 20
really
grams of protein, only 270 calories. This is the best tasting protein bars I've ever had in my entire life. Every single flavor knocks it out of the park, dude. And the carrot cake ones are my new faves. Who is fucking sneezing, dude? I hear some sneezing going on.
I haven't taken my liver pills yet today.
That's Bob again. He's
is
been
that
sneezing all
you
day.
again, dude?
God, I think Bob has
sneezes and apples.
I think Bob
eating apples.
Well, we actually
full apples in front of me.
Delco and I are gonna fucking come in Monday. With a whole fucking bushel
full of apples.
We're gonna eat them whole.
God, eat them on air.
2 bites.
I want to see
per
what
apple.
the audience would actually say live
2
on air.
bites per apple because mostly just because fuck you.
No, that woman who
can't stop
that
us.
woman who was next to us in the airport. She was like 30 bites. Man, I was this close to just looking over and be like, "You done there? you done there, little filly? Little fucking 2-year-old filly? You racing on Saturday? You're eating like it." Fucking cunt. God damn, that was loud as shit.
I'm actually going to start. Now that I know that it bothers you, you're in trouble.
I'm having an apple a day.
Yeah.
Well, it keeps the doctor away. Is that the saying? Probably not. Who cares, dude? You don't need the doctor anymore because you got First Form. They got everything you need over there, dude. And every supplement you can imagine. Go to their website. Peruse their entire catalog. These guys are literally the best in the business. Go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. That is First Form spelled with a 1. That is 1STPHORM. Firstform.com/Drinkin Bros, where, as always, you're going to get free shipping on orders over $75. Oh, those are those new energy drinks.
Is that the Texas edition?
Those are good, dude. Man,
they have a Texas
all their
edition out,
so
too.
fucking good, dude. And the birthday cake ones, I think it's the next photo, Bob, on this website. The birthday cake ones, there they are. Boom. Those level 1 birthday cake bars are gone in 60 seconds in this office. And Angelina Jolie's not even here, for Christ's sakes. Next up, we talking about Big Gretch here? Got a little bit Big Gretch news. What's up with Gretchen Whitmer these days, man? So she keeps popping up with Trump and some others here. So Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the Democrat of Michigan, greeted President Trump on the tarmac in Michigan before his speech to National Guard members on Tuesday, where she also spoke at the event without hiding her face, which is nice. Well, I hadn't planned to speak, but on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and served so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan. I'm really damn happy that we're here. Fox News co-host Judge Janine Pirro said on the 5 on Tuesday that Whitmer had a chance to set the tone for the Democratic Party. I think that, of course, she's there because of the troops, but there are some Democrats who wouldn't be in the same room with Donald Trump, Pirro said. I think that she did the right thing, and I think that wanting to work with the president to bring back manufacturing to Michigan is a smart move. By the way, Alana played Pirro in a movie. Really fucking good. I think the movie got nominated. But anywho's, we have our own theory on this with Gretchen Whitmer. And go ahead and tell the audience.
I don't know if it's even a fully fleshed out theory, but she's been doing a lot of Trump stuff, right? And he's been speaking really well of her, which is the odder part, I think.
Yes.
That's not like, even on his own side.
I watched that thing last night too.
Yeah, even on his own side, he's not particularly, it depends on the moment. If he's talking nicely about you or not. He'll fucking go after anybody. He doesn't give a shit. But he's only said nice stuff about her.
Yes.
Which is odd. Even, like, not before he became president, so even during the dead lame duck period. So she's clearly angling to run for president.
I think she's the most sensible candidate from the Democrats.
Yeah, so I don't know. My theory is, and take this for what it's worth, I think that there's a chance that she's going to flip to independent and run, or maybe even repube and run with Vance.
If that happens, that is an unstoppable ticket for the next 8 years. And Trump yesterday, during this rally, had said she was doing a great job up in Michigan. And you don't usually hear that from the other side. At all. He even said that last night.
Yeah, he even made a joke about it.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to say that.
He goes, man, even like the Republicans and Democrats don't want to hear me say this shit, but I think you're doing a great job up here. So he goes, I want to bring you up. And yet there's something there. I don't know what it is. And I think if you were to nuke out the most sensible candidate and have her join your party and pair her up with Vance, I don't know how you beat that.
I mean, it's a smart move. Like it's basically like being in business, seeing your potential future competitor come up and you just buy him out. It's not a dumb move to make, to be honest.
I agree. So if that were to happen, good luck. I don't think you could stop that ticket in a million years. Now, will she actually do it? I don't know. Yeah, but if you see them doing more and more events together and everything else, because let's face it, man, a lot of our manufacturing of cars and all that stuff does come out of Michigan. A lot of great jobs and workers and all that other stuff, and it is a massive swing state to win. And if you win that state right now, chances are you're probably going to win the presidency. So the more and more that they can work with her, or vice versa, or even if it was just one night. Let's just say it was just last night. They got together and did this event together. It's still nice to see people from one side or the other talking great about each other when it comes to events like this. And if anybody has a fucking problem with it, dude, on either side, you're the lost one. There's nothing you can do there. Yeah. Because you want to see this happen. And I didn't mind that he brought her up on stage. Yes, that's what we should be doing on all these fucking events. So it was cool, but I just don't know what's up with her. Because they met on the tarmac. It was a hug. And they brought her up on stage. This is what, 3 times in the last, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's more from his side than hers, because she's been kind of sheepish about the whole thing. But this time, she was like full dick out. Big Gretch was full dick out on this one.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if that was part of a plan or if it's just the way it worked out or whatever, but we'll see. I would keep an eye on that relationship over the next 6 months, because I think it's going to be very telling.
There's a lot to gain there, man. I mean, look.
For both people, because
right.
Michigan's not going back to blue, I don't think. That one swung pretty hard. Didn't he end up winning by 10 points or something?
I don't know. Can you bring it up?
I don't remember.
I don't remember because
it was Michigan or one of the other states.
At that point in the evening, we were pretty shoshed.
Oh, that's
off the hard AF. So, what
was
the final number?
He won by like 1.4. But it was 15 electoral votes. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think.
Oh, he won by less than one, right?
No.
Yeah, 48.74 for Kamala and 49.6 for Trump.
Oh, I don't. Maybe that was.
Maybe that was the final total.
I don't know. I'm looking at Wikipedia and it's 49.73 to 48.31, but it could be incomplete.
Yeah. Either way, though, it is a big state. I don't think it's bad to reach out to the other side of the aisle on this one and everything else. And I do think if this tariff thing works, a lot of those jobs are going to be in Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, just the Rust Belt in general is getting a lot of shit. Ohio's going to boom. I mean, to be honest, the Republicans are going to take a little bit of credit for the boon in Ohio too, even though the CHIPS Act, though it was bipartisan, right? But it was Biden's. It
was one woman. I forget her name. I remember watching a story on her.
Yeah.
But she was the one who pushed that through.
That vote was everybody agreed that we need to bring
well,
chips.
You should.
Like there's some provisions in the CHIPS Act that are going to be repealed in a new bill. I think that are just stupid DEI fucking. Just the typical fundamentals, like this, and this.
Yeah.
They'll do away with that part, but yeah, I mean, the Republicans will end up getting credit for it to some degree unfairly, even though they voted for it in Congress, because it's like the fruition is going to come while they're in power.
Yeah.
So that's something.
And by the way, it's not just that side; it's this one too. Look at the money in Texas that's going to the DEI shit. Dig into that a little harder.
Yeah,
it'll fucking shock your mind. And this is a red state that is still doing that bullshit. And I think we're the only ones left.
It's really big in Oklahoma too.
Is it really?
It was like the drag show stuff was huge in Oklahoma.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't get it, man. Because you see another one came out today. This is the greatest one of all time. The greatest of all time. Robert De Niro's kids, fucking trans, dude.
All of them, probably.
I mean, why is it all celebrity kids?
Well, you saw what's that ginger from Sex and the City?
Cynthia Nixon.
Yeah. Both of my kids are trans. My sister's kids are trans. Like, oh, what are the fucking odds?
What are the fucking odds?
Impossible. The odds are impossible. That's not possible statistically. So.
My boy Affleck, dude, save Ben. 2 of them.
Well, that's Jennifer Garner's kids.
Well, we don't know.
We do know.
No, we don't know. Also, Cole Hauser, babe. You want to take you to the train station? Arrested for what? For being awesome, babe? For being fucking awesome? His kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's oddly like celebrities' kids, man. But yeah, De Niro, boy, I bet he's having a real hard time with that one.
I don't know. I mean, he's 1,000 years old.
He cares.
Does he even know?
He fucking cares. He'll know when that dick is on the jar with formaldehyde in it at Thanksgiving.
That's going to be your Christmas present, Papa.
It sure is, dude. Papa De Niro, open up your Christmas gift. Oh, what is it? Johnny/Juanita? It's my dick and balls.
It's weird how
in a mayonnaise jar.
It's weird how he changed genders and ethnicities.
Yeah, you have to.
I like that.
I like that
a lot. If you're going to do it, fucking do it.
You go all the way.
Yeah.
You don't go, you go from, well, I think it's because he was married to a black chick. So
that's true, yeah.
They were mixed already, and now if you want to throw a Latinx on top of that and chop off your dick and balls, fucking complete the whole goddamn spectrum.
Just do it all at once so you can fill out the paperwork all at one time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty simple. Pretty fucking simple. Next up, Harvard apologizes. You don't say. Harvard President Alan Garber apologized to the university's failure to address both anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim Arab tensions. Are we calling them Arabs? Are we calling them Palestinians?
I don't
Arabs?
give a fuck.
I don't either, man.
I want them out.
Tensions on campus on the wake of the October 7th Hamas terror attack on Tuesday. Harvard University released reports from its presidential task force on anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli bias, as well as anti-Muslim, anti-Arab, and anti-Palestinian bias. In a letter to the university, Garber expressed his gratitude for the team's work and lamented that the rise of, what is this here? The rise for all the anti-Semitism and all the other shit. Oh, bigotry. God damn, it's always bigotry. And sometimes Violent clashes. I like that. It's fiery, but mostly peaceful.
Yeah.
The sometimes violent clashes occurred on campus.
So the 23-24 academic year was disappointing, painful. I'm sorry for the moments, blah, blah, blah. Garber's letter largely generalized the plights felt by both sides, citing how, quote, some students reportedly felt ostracized by their peers. I mean, ostracized is one way to say it. Being told that because you're a Jew, you can't walk on this sidewalk is something else entirely.
Yeah.
That's not really ostracized. That's more like just straight up racism. But
did you happen to dig into those reports by any chance?
I haven't looked deeply into them, no. But they obviously were bad enough that he felt the need to come out and say something about it.
Yeah, so I went through some of these last night. There was a guy who did a great breakdown of these because he actually included the students' reports. Like they actually had them, the ones that were involved in this went and made complaints to the university and everything else. And it is mind-altering. It was like 9 pages of this shit of like what Jewish kids were and weren't allowed to say, where they shouldn't walk.
What do you mean what they were and weren't allowed to say?
Oh, dude, it's so fucking nuts that like I think the lawsuits behind this will be gnarly. God, who was that guy who posted the full thread last night? Maybe the Harvard Jew would probably do it, but that's a quick search here.
I don't know. But I do know, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of accounts of it. And, it's, I mean, I understand the complaints from the other side, too. A lot of people were saying nobody cared about any of this until it was Jews and Israel involved. And that's actually true because white people and Christians in general have been getting fucked with on college campuses for the last 20 years. In a big way, not everyone, but in the Ivy League for sure, right?
Right,
and not just the way, not in such a violent way as we saw the last 2 summers or the last 2 school years rather, but more in the admissions process and in classrooms getting censored and kicked out of classes and things like that. But this definitely took it to the next level.
Yeah, and if I could find, I saved it, but I couldn't remember where it's at here in my notes. But yeah, as this was going on, somebody released a thread of all the complaints the students had made during this process, dude. And the pro-Palestine guys were telling them what they should say, where they should walk, where they couldn't walk through, another route to go to class so that they didn't actually have to see them, what their religion and what it means to the world and how it's so fucked up is why you should feel ashamed of yourself. And I mean, it was just like this 9-page thing, and it was all student reports at what they had read to the, turned into the police and everything else. And I think there's going to be massive fucking lawsuits that come out of this, like massive, by some of these Jewish students on campus here.
And again, they've got to certainly if you're the DNC specifically, you've got to reach out to these universities and tell them to knock it the fuck off. Period. Because
you
again,
can't. You cannot though.
You have to.
Your party is split on this.
I know, but the DNC's got to reach out and do something because I think it was Bob. Didn't we look it up? It was 78% and 24
of what
of Jewish people that voted Democrat, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was 82 4 years ago or 6 years ago, whenever it was. There's 5, and then last year it was still 78, even after all that shit, right? So maybe it won't affect the vote that much, but you got to think if it continues for much longer, Democrats vote 80%, or Jews vote 80% Democrat. You can't continue to allow this if you want to continue winning elections.
No, and I found it, by the way, because the other part about this, and this is why I say I don't know where the Democrats go with this, is like Bernie Sanders was the one fighting to get this guy out today and was just out there, yeah, we got the fucking Palestine guy out of the detention thing for a little bit while he awaits his court hearing. And it's like, okay, cool, but what was it, 80% of Jewish people vote Democrat anyways?
78 in the last election, yeah.
So what, I mean, where are you going to go with this?
I don't know what the big plan there is, to be honest.
I don't
either. It's all Marxism. It's just the oppressor versus oppressed.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So I'll read some of the threads here that were from the actual reports by the students. A Jewish student was told they couldn't share the story of their Holocaust survivor grandfather's rescue efforts because he helped Jews reach British Mandate Palestine. I don't know what that is. Maybe the history guys do over there.
So when to defeat the Ottoman Empire in World War I, the Allies, I guess you could call them, offered Palestine to the so-called Palestinians. In return, you fight with us and help us get rid of the Ottoman Empire, and we will give you Transjordan, right, which is what it was called at the time.
Okay.
And they did. It became the British Palestinian Mandate, and it was a mixed race place for a long time.
Now,
Christians, Jews, and Muslims all lived there together for a while.
Gotcha. And according to the students, that organizers said it was not tasteful, as an exact quote, and inherently one-sided because it mentioned Israel. Next one up was many Jewish and Israeli students were told their presence was offensive. Some were asked to denounce Israel to be considered one of the good ones. That was actually in the report. And this came from every part of campus, including peers, instructors, and faculty members. And they specifically mentioned exact teachers in some of these reports. Jewish students on academic trips were told their Jewish tradition had become indistinct from a settler colonial project. The fuck does that mean?
I don't fucking know.
Some were told that they shared. Some were told they shared guilt for atrocities committed by Israel. After October 7th, there's another one. Jewish students faced an avalanche of hatred on anonymous apps. The digital harassment contributed heavily to the climate of fear and isolation. Posts that were saying Israel deserved it were upvoted, I guess, on some of the Harvard websites and fucking team things. It was surprising to see educated people saying such horrible things, one of the students said. Some students posted images reading, "Decolonization is not a metaphor," with blood dripping from the text labeled as Jewish blood. Other posts regularly use the terms like Israel scum and Zionist dirtbags. I've heard the Zionist thing over and over and over again out of them. And also Israeli students had particularly hard to avoid certain degree programs, courses, and class discussions because of anti-Semitic hostility. One said that they felt every comment was filtered through that the Israeli is speaking here. Somebody said in the middle of a class. So, yeah, man, I don't know how they avoid lawsuits. Not that they can't afford it.
Sure.
They're sitting on billions of dollars over there. But I can promise you this, guys. The best lawyers, the very best we have in this nation are Jewish. And they will come at you with full fucking force. This is just the tip of the iceberg that is coming for Harvard. And there's going to be some massive fucking settlement in the future here. And I wonder what that dollar amount's going to be. Speaking of dollar amounts, breaking news right now, 60 Minutes settled with Trump.
Oh.
Huge shock. Huge shock on that one. It's almost like I fucking said that was going to happen here, or else that Paramount deal wouldn't go through. Be real curious there to see if the rest of 60 Minutes quits after this. Just like their fucking producer. Fuck those guys. I hope that whole goddamn network dies anyways. And 60 Minutes has become such a shit heap. Good. All you fuckers deserve it, dude. Yeah. So pay up, and then continue to be on the network and tell people that you actually fucking care. Because otherwise you quit your fucking job, let's be honest. Next up, we got AmericanFinancing.net/Drinkin Bros here. Love these guys. Used them 3 times. Using them again right now, dude. I love it. Let's face it. Last 4 years have not been great. A lot of us reaching for credit cards, for gas, other bills, and whatnot. Those interest rates are through the roof. You're looking at 23, 27% on a credit card. But if you take equity out of your house, this is all of us, dude. I've done it a lot over the years. 4 times with them and then with other companies just to knock down interest rates and then pay that off because right now your house is going in right around the 6.5% region, and it's a lot better than paying off 23 to 27%. With American financing, they are family owned, they're licensed in all 50 states, and it costs nothing to reach out to them to call them. All the workers over there are salary based, so there's no incentive for them to put you in a loan that doesn't exist or doesn't make sense for you. And their customers are saving on average about $800 a month. When you tally that up, it's about $9,600 a year. That's how much fucking money you are saving with them. They don't charge any upfront or hidden fees to find out how much you can save. You may be able to close in as fast as 10 days. And also, you might be able to delay up to 2 mortgage payments when you use them. They've helped hundreds of thousands of people. You can check out their Google reviews. They're all lights out. And it's super fucking easy to get a hold of these guys. Call 866-887-2275. That is 866-887-2275 or AmericanFinancing.net/Drinkin Bros, and they'll help you out over there, even if you're just curious about it. Give them a call. Bob always puts the number and the link in the audio and video description there, and just see how much you can save. It's fucking free. So that way you can at least judge for yourself whether or not it's the right decision for you. But yeah, man, we're all getting buried by these fucking costs over there. And then there's a disclaimer on here for NMLS 182334 at www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. And what that is essentially saying, hey, man, it's the Better Business Bureau to make sure that they're legit and on the up and up and everything else. And before I use this company, dude, I checked with the CPA and all that other shit. So, again, we use them. They're great. And just pay off your shit, dude. It'll actually help you out. I'm sure you looked at those APR prices after tax season and you were like, fuck. I know I do every single year. Jesus Christ. Next up, India is the new China. India hopes to establish a new deal with the U.S. on trade quickly as the country seeks to become a major replacement supplier in areas vacated by China in trade, which would be fantastic, by the way. New Delhi says it's prepared to include a sweetener in trade talks with U.S. that would future-proof a deal by ensuring no other trade partners could have superior terms. This clause, in a sense, future-proofs the U.S. deal, and it's the only way to do so. One of the officials says the Indian government officials are pushing for the deal to be accepted by the Trump administration as soon as possible. Despite the tensions between the nation and the BRICS alliance, the U.S. and India have been in revised trade talks for quite a couple months now. And the potential U.S.-India trade deal represents a significant step forward in bilateral economic relations between the two nations. I love it, man. Mm-hmm. Because if you were going to nuke out China all the way around or use this as a threat to get them to knock down the tariffs they've been fucking using on us for 50 goddamn years, this is great.
Yeah, I mean, this is bad for China.
Very bad if this goes through.
Yeah, because BRICS was... China, Russia, India, those are the 3 main players. Brazil obviously is one, but mostly those 3. Mm-hmm. And without India, that's 1.4 billion people in a workforce.
Yep.
Not great. So Scott Bessent said this week that India's latest proposal suggests that negotiators have already made substantial progress in these ongoing discussions. Right now, the U.S. actively pursues trade agreements with several Asian nations as well. The places where our textiles are made, for the most part, we're trying to finish those off. And he says the U.S. has also held very substantial negotiations with Japan, which is the 3rd largest economy in the world, and other Asian countries. India has already made several offers and preemptive concessions to the U.S. on trade, showing itself more eager than the other. I mean, people are right now, Japan to a lesser degree because they're a more modernized economy, but India and then countries like Laos, Cambodia, South Vietnam, shit like that are bidding. Like they're trying to angle themselves to get the best deal out of the U.S. right now.
And why not?
I mean, it's the card you have to play is cheap labor, right? Which is, that is what it is. India will win.
Oh,
because they have
yeah.
1.4 billion people, right?
Yes.
Like, it's just from a supply side economic standpoint, nobody can supply more workers than they can. So that's the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? So let's say it this way: if you're trying to market, or if you're trying to capitalize, like literally capitalize, make capital on it, I can cut my margins down farther with 300-400 million person workforce than you can with your 20 million person workforce. That's how life works, right? So unlike China, Canada, and the European Union, India has been very supportive of Trump and has established a solid partnership. Furthermore, the country also wants to avoid the proposed 26% tariff on itself from Trump that goes into effect whenever that happens. This is a massive hit to China.
If it goes through.
It will.
You think so?
Yes. It's a massive hit to China. Well, so, I mean, just look at the labor statistics. Mexico provides labor at 1/3 the cost that China does right now. So even with their fucking Uyghur slave
bullshit,
people, they still can't compete with Mexico right now. It's because their currency is not worth anything anymore, right? India is more of a developing economy still, so they're on the way up. They can still shoulder all this stuff. And they have the same workforce size that China does. And, you know, this is probably why you're seeing this dust up between Pakistan and India right now. Pakistan, as I mentioned earlier in the week, is controlled by China.
Yep.
And India is a friend of ours. And it's just a proxy war that's going on right now. And to be like, if you don't think China will start a fucking war to keep us from doing this long-term deal with India, you better think again, my friend.
Yeah, the other thing, too, I'll go back to what we played on fake news maybe 2 months ago. I think it was Mr. Wonderful from Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, who was on CNN, and he said, right now is the time to squeeze Chinese heads against the fucking wall and get these tariffs back. This would be the end game for China. They would be fucked without our economy. What's the percentage of what we're buying from China? It is a gnarly fucking number right now. And I think it's like 46% or something like that of their exports.
It's a great deal, yeah. I don't remember.
You got the number up there, Bob?
I don't know if you're going to be able to find percentages, but...
there was a list, and God damn it, I just read it this morning. And either way, if we stop doing business with China, it would crater their entire economy. And it's teetering right now. And this would be a massive win, and I'd be fine with it. You?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about China.
Me neither. And if this happens, man, yeah, we already get along with India anyways. They've got nukes. We've got nukes as well. So, you know, it'd be a win-win for both sides over there.
Pakistan's also got nukes.
Well, and maybe someone in Pakistan. Just lob one over, you know?
India would end...
Just Ja Morant one over.
India would end Pakistan really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't notice from the dancing competition...
I know.
They're quite a bit better.
Yeah, a lot of better dancing. Do you have the numbers there, Bob? What is that? What are you looking at?
I mean, these are just the biggest trading partners with China in terms of...
yeah, what's ours? What's the United States at?
524 billion in exports. The EU second, and then it's a steep drop after that.
Jesus Christ.
Vietnam is third.
Oh, really? Well, so yeah, Vietnam and China have they have a total free trade agreement. There's no tariff in any way, no tax, no tariff on cross because China wants to be able to use and this is clever on their part. They've used Vietnam as South Vietnam as a bit of a cutout over the years to bypass some of the sanctions and shit like that.
Gotcha.
So they'll just send their products over to Vietnam, and then they started allowing Vietnam to send them back.
Yeah, you take that much money out of their economy, dude. That's a massive hit to those guys. Because right now, we don't really know what's going on. Like, we have no idea. As they block out all the news, citizens don't know and all that other shit.
Well, we know some other stuff, too. We know that the number one cohort purchaser of gold is the Chinese citizen right now, which means their currency is fucked.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Because gold is at an all-time high right now.
Yeah, that's why. The Chinese civilian market is pushing that rise in gold right now. We also know that, and this is just observing economics from the European side, that number with the EU right there was heavily dependent on Germany, and now China over the past 18 months or so has started treating Germany as a bit of a competitor, and Germany started to pull back on a lot of their import-export from China. So that number is actually quite a bit lower than what it looks like there. So we're an even bigger part now of China's economy than we were when this data came out.
Okay. Next up, ad-wise, we got Hillsdale College. Time is precious. Time is precious, kids. It's a precious commodity. We've heard from a ton of our listeners who have asked advice about how to spend time more wisely, just improving themselves, history, economics, the great works of literature, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution, which is what Dan talks about all the time. Did you study these in school? Probably not, or maybe you did. I did at such a young age, you forget.
I studied most of it on my own time.
I learned a lot young, and then you forget it as you get older.
I had a really good civics teacher in 10th grade, actually. He was our basketball coach.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
No.
His son's name was Kevin, though.
All right.
I could probably think of it if I wanted to.
Kevin teacher? Dave teacher, yeah.
But he was very good. Taught us like tort law and basic civics and all this other stuff. But mostly it was rudimentary because it's only one high school course in sophomore year, you know what I mean?
Sure.
If you really want to learn about this stuff, like where our laws come from, the rise and fall of Rome, English common law, stuff like that, and then the great thinkers of those times from Montesquieu and Locke and all these people, you're going to have to go do it yourself.
Yeah, and Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses. Yeah, that's right. 40 free online courses. Learn about the works of C.S. Lewis.
Which I would highly recommend as well.
You love C.S. Lewis?
Yeah, he's one of the best authors of all time.
The Rise and Fall of the Roman Republic, which you always talk about. And personally, I know you're studying up on the Constitution 101 there.
I do, so
to
yeah.
educate the peoples.
I take, I've got a whole reading list of stuff that I go through every 2 years or so. Lectures and all this other stuff from ancient Greece all the way to present. And then history and then law as well, right? How the law was written. I do that every time, and I folded this one in now, this Constitution 101 class, and a couple of other ones on here. The Rise and Fall of the Roman Republic and Constitution 101, I folded into my biannual reading list.
Okay.
At this point.
And this is a 12-lecture course, self-paced, start wherever you want. Country needs more Americans who actually understand the fucking Constitution. Let's go watch the Street Gonzo episode if you don't believe me. So start your free Constitution 101 course with Hillsdale College for free. Go right now to hillsdale.edu/drinkin to enroll. There's no cost, and it's easy to get started. That is hillsdale.edu/drinkin to register, or click the link in Bob's show notes here for hillsdale.edu.drinkin. Next up, Florida immigration showdown. A federal judge in Florida said an order that blocks local police from enforcing a new state immigration law applied to all local agencies, despite the state's attorney general stating otherwise in a recent memo. The U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams told attorneys for the states during a hearing in Miami on Tuesday that she planned to issue a preliminary injunction against a statute that makes it a misdemeanor for undocumented migrants to enter Florida by eluding immigration officials. Williams said she was surprised and shocked that Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer told local police in a letter last week that they didn't need to follow her order. What I am offended by is someone suggesting that you don't have to follow my order. That is not legitimate, Williams said. Earlier this month, Williams issued a temporary restraining order against the statute. Governor Ron DeSantis signed the legislation into law in February as part of President Donald Trump's push to crack down on illegal immigration. After the extension, Uthmeyer sent a memo to state and local law enforcement officers telling them to stop enforcing the law, even though he disagreed with the judge's order. This is what he's been up against.
Then he, 5 days later, sent another memo saying the judge is wrong and to continue enforcing. And then, so far, no additional arrests have been made. But let's be really clear. A federal judge has no business telling an elected state attorney general what they can do and what they can't do.
Yep.
The people of Florida, just like Trump was saying on that CBS interview last night, the people of Florida elected these people, and they ran specifically on these issues.
Yes.
On immigration reform specifically, and getting these motherfuckers out of here. This is not like a could we, would we, should we. The law is pretty clear about what you're allowed to do. 8 U.S.C. 1182 and so on and so forth about getting these motherfuckers out of here. There's no debate to be had. And there's nothing in the Constitution that says that these federal district judges have a say over the executives in the states or in the federal government. That's not a thing. And I don't know how they're allowed. Like the fact that they're even paying any attention to this. People say, oh, if they ignore it, it's a constitutional crisis. No, the constitutional crisis began when 20 million illegals entered our country, right? Period.
That's it.
And then it continued when these judges stepped outside of their purview and started trying to regulate the executive who was elected to do this job.
They're doing it everywhere.
Fuck off.
Yeah. And then this will go back to the first 100 days of Trump about getting shit done. This is what's happening. And let's face it, on both sides. Both sides. It was immigration. That's an 80-20 probably, right? The 20% are fucking insane, but the 80%, dude, of Republicans and Democrats want the crackdown on immigration. Like, how is this a winning, again, how is this a winning issue? So yeah, do we want to speed things up for the first 100 days? We sure do. But the problem is shit like this over and over and over again. And man, sometimes you wish the Republicans were just as violent as the Democrats in this sitch, because these judges, the fact that they're alive is nuts to me. Like, for real. Like, I would at some point expect violence, but I'm surprised it hasn't happened, to be honest with you. Because you had 2 assassination attempts against the president, and then the other shit, and it's just like...
Well, those were fake, though, right?
Yeah,
that's what people are saying
Him getting shot in the head.
Yeah.
If you think that's fake, you should step on up. Dan will be happy to take that same shot.
Yeah, if you want to sign a contract absolving me, or we could just go to a non-extradition country. We can go to Panama.
Yeah.
I'll fly us both down to Panama, and you stand 130 feet away from me and turn your head to that angle and let me shoot your ear. And if you're comfortable doing that, then I'll listen to what you have to say. But until then, shut your fucking mouth.
Exactly. So this is what he's up against in this first 100 days. I don't understand it.
It's just
that's what everybody voted for.
Retarded nonsense.
I mean, literally. So yeah, man, you're going to see more and more of this happen over and over and over again. How they're allowed to do it, not really sure. But if I'm Trump, I just keep flying planes in the middle of the night and tell all these guys to fuck off. What is stopping him from doing that? Or are they still doing that and we just don't know about it?
Yeah, hard to say.
Okay.
I mean, the Biden administration was putting people on planes in the middle of the night to infiltrate our country with illegal immigrants. So I think we can do something to you. How about that? As a matter of fact, I don't know how much a parachute costs, but that's how much it costs to deport somebody.
It really is.
Fuel and a parachute.
They never told you when you were jumping out of planes how much a parachute costs?
No.
Okay.
No, they just told me to get on the fucking plane, private. So that's what I did.
I wonder what a parachute's going for these days, man, because that's the next step, I think. Just saving money. Like, Doge should step in and be like, look, we buy them each a parachute. But how much is a parachute going for these days? Packed. I want it packed, right? Because that would be another job on top of it. We're trying to save money here. How much is a packed parachute going for?
Well, I mean, that's a parachute rigger, so you'd have to pay him. Although we call them parachutists Americans.
Yeah, I don't even say that word.
Between $3,000 and $10,000.
Ooh.
For a parachute?
I don't think we need to get them the best parachute.
No, that $3,000 is fine.
Once they're floating through the air, it's over. It's like semen. Once it's out of my body, that's not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care what you do with it.
I know empuje is push. What's pull? So they can just pull the thing and then it just opens and then it gets sent back into their country. I'm all for that. That would be great. And it'd be a nice surprise going home to see your family again.
Yeah.
You know, you see Uncle T-Ho falling out of the sky.
Well, T-Ho means uncle.
Yeah.
But we
Uncle.
Yeah. We what we could do is give them one of those heel streamers, right? It's like the little banners that fly behind you. Sometimes it's a flag, something else, and it just says "Welcome home," and he's saying "Welcome home" to himself.
Can I be selfish for a second?
You can do whatever you want.
I would like it to be a hard AF seltzer one. I want to get some marketing out of it. Like, I'd be happy to make those little flags that pop up out of the parachutes.
I don't see why not.
Oh, look, there he is. There's fucking T.O. And then, awesome, it's Hard AF Seltzer. You know? Brought to you by hardafseltzer.com. Be fucking rad, dude. Next up, Y. Walz. Former vice presidential nominee, Governor Tim Walz. To the window, to the walls. The Democrat out of Minnesota continued a self-described listening tour. Is that real? This is why the show is called Fake News. Is he calling it a listening tour?
That's what he said, yeah. We're reaching out to constituents.
Come on, man.
To constituents to listen to what their probes are. Tell me your probe, constituent. Like, it's just like the dumbest shit of all time.
Is this real?
People don't want a fucking listening tour. They want competent leaders who lead. That's what they want. Mm-hmm. Period.
That's it.
Nobody wants to be heard from.
Period.
Play this fucking video.
Yeah, is this it? Well, let's listen.
Lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, you know, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of those votes.
Well, you could be giving them
to improve people's lives.
Wait, so did you just say you failed?
Yeah. It sounds like
that's what it sounded like. Now,
and that's fine.
When you refer to yourself as coach, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, "Oh, we'll run a pick six on them." Like, oh, okay,
yeah,
all right, cool.
Yeah. I've never said that to any of even my 6-year-old. I don't say that.
Are you
to
gonna hit a field goal too?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You fucking dummy.
Never say that to my kids.
He says, I think I'll give you pretty good stuff, but I'll also give you 10% problematic. And he laughed off the criticism over inconsistencies in his background, described himself as a knucklehead. Like, oh, you know, I know I said I was a sergeant major. I know I said I went to war, but I mean, I'm just a knucklehead. What do I know?
Yeah.
What do I know about stuff? I'm not stealing valor. I just don't know.
I'm just a big old dummy.
I spent 24 years as part of the fucking Minnesota National Guard, and I just never really figured it out. 24 years is not that long, to be honest.
Goes with a blink of an eye.
This guy's a fucking mongoloid.
It's nuts, man. But he's running for president. He says he wants to be the guy.
He's got about as good a chance as you or I do.
I would. Again, I hate to be selfish in back-to-back stories, but I would give myself a better shot than him.
Probably, yeah.
I would be entertaining as fuck out there. God damn, dude.
Yeah.
You want to see me in a fucking rally? It'd be awesome, dude. Shit.
You've watched Ted Lasso, right?
Yes. I've only seen the pilot.
Oh, you've only seen, well.
I just want to watch the pilot episode.
So I basically.
Wasn't really my thing.
I would run as Roy Kent, the really curmudgeon-y dude.
I like that
super
guy.
Hairy one. Yeah, she's like, Candace thinks that's just me. Every time we watch, we watch it, he does something. She's like, "See," I'm like, "Get the fuck off of me! What are you talking about?" But I am kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
so it makes sense. That's I would just be in that character the whole time.
Yeah.
People ask me questions. Shut up.
Yep.
You shut up. Hey, get him out of here.
Get him out of there.
Oh, I would soup Nazi it actually. If I was the White House press secretary, I would soup Nazi it every day. You come back tomorrow. You're out. Get out. Right? You're trespassing. Get the fuck out. You come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I know how I end all my rallies, dude. Every single one of them.
Like Musk?
Well, you have to.
As long as you keep your fingers spread,
is that
it's
what
not
it is?
Technically a Heil Hitler.
So you got to go a web finger, spread them out there?
Yep. I think that's the rule. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd end it with a quote from TK, dude. My daddy served in the army where he lost his right eye. I mean, that's America right there.
America is Chris Christopherson telling your guy that he's a fucking bitch for not serving.
Come on, man.
That's America.
Is Chris Christopherson dead?
He was a Ranger and dead. Yeah, he died last year, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was an Army Ranger, and if I'm not mistaken, is that right?
Wait, hang on. Did both of them die in the same year? What a fucking battle. What a battle royale.
So Chris died, 2024.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
And so did TK, right?
Yeah, he died on February 5th, yeah.
Wait, of this year or last year?
Last year.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so Chris outlived him.
Fuck.
Yeah, because he's a fucking man.
No, Toby wanted to. I think Toby had some shit.
Christopherson was a liberal hippie that fucking fucked shit up in the military.
Anna Nicole Smith's dead. I think TK, Toby Keith, wanted to go up there and see Anna Nicole Smith one more time.
Let's see. Yeah, he attended Ranger School, and then he completed helicopter pilot training at Fort Rucker. So he was a Ranger qualified helicopter pilot. That's Christopherson.
No shit.
And Toby Keith did jack shit. He profited off the deaths of a lot of Americans. That's what he did. Toby
Keith wrote a song called Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Yeah. And Chris Christopherson never did.
No, Chris Christopherson delivered that courtesy to the enemy. See how it works?
I think, in all fairness, though, Toby Keith had asthma.
Oh, that's
and he couldn't join.
A real sad story. You know who else had asthma is Donnie O'Malley, or Danny Mayer is his real name.
Oh, yeah. Donnie told that story.
He had asthma, and his dad was the naval surgeon on base, so he went into the fucking base and destroyed his fucking records. Well, he didn't destroy them, he just stole them. He still has them because I've seen them.
Yeah.
It's like, I wasn't going to not join just because of some gay-ass asthma.
I think Toby's was pretty severe, and I think he was born flat-footed on one foot, too.
No.
He had some things going on. I know he really wanted to, though. He really wanted to serve. But he just couldn't. He just couldn't do it, Dan.
Yeah, he never served at any point doing anything in his entire life.
He served up a lot of great songs to us, a lot of party anthems, everything else. Shit. Do you know the University of Oklahoma last year? Every school's got a big song at the end of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Toby Keith, Oklahoma Sooners, dude.
Is he a alumni?
Yeah, I think he is. Look it up. Did he not go to school there? Or were they just doing it out of respect, Bob, because of how great he was?
He's from Oklahoma. He's a huge OU fan. But let's see if he actually went to.
Did he go to school there?
What's Ohio State's?
Hang on, Sloopy. Hang on, Sloopy's ours.
Yeah, he did not go to OU.
He did. He said that's even stolen power.
To be fair, Florida. And this is a little bit of a better connection, but Florida plays Tom Petty between the third and fourth quarter because Tom Petty was a janitor at UF for a while.
Yeah, that's
Shut
more.
the
That's,
fuck up.
that's more than Toby Keith did.
We don't know that, guys.
Yeah, we do. He doesn't. He never worked there. And to be fair, though, Penn State's a Sweet Caroline, which doesn't even make any sense. What the fuck does that got to do with Northern Pennsylvania?
I'm not sure.
Nothing.
No. So is the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they've been using it for years.
But yeah, there was another janitor who went to Harvard, ended up becoming pretty good at math. His name was Matt Damon. So there you have it there. But man, it's going to be a Toby Keith weekend. All right, time to get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. Go to drinkinbros.com. Bob, pull it up here. You can submit for Drinkin' Bro of the week on drinkinbros.com. I ordered those hats yesterday for those golf hats. Fucking super stoked about those and the rope hats and all that stuff there. We got a ton of new merch up on the store, and I promise you, you do not want to miss next month's Bro Box. It is the fucking best, dude. I'm super amped for that fucking thing to show up, dude. I asked Brandon if I could order another one, and he goes, "Please don't. There's been a lot of orders right now." And I go, "Brandon, I don't give a fuck."
We had to order. I mean, because
That's what I heard.
the Bro Box has been growing, so we've had to order more than usual.
Yes.
And then one time we had to make a second order, and some people's orders got delayed and shit like that. So
yeah, for a couple weeks, but but there's a reason why. I mean, it's been on fire, dude. God damn. So this month is rad. All the new merch is in there, and then while you're there, you can go to the Drinkin' Bros submission of the week. It comes to us live on air. Also, dude, you can pop it up on the app. Drinkin' Bros app is up on iTunes, iTunes and Android. So it's free. Dan and I pay for it. There's also a wall there in case Facebook nukes all this shit, which they probably will in the future, especially if somebody else wins in 28 or not. I don't. So it's for, like, you can literally say and do what you want. The news that people are posting of their wives are interesting to me. I love that. I love that about the group. And there's some violent memes in there. But you can submit there as well. And the Drinkin' Bros app is free on. We don't fucking delete anything either. There's no admins, so it's like, hey, dude,
it's a full on situation over there.
It's fucking awesome, dude. So let's get to it here. All right, this one just got submitted to us right now. Drinkin' Bro submission. Alex John from Minnesota. Been a listener since 2021. Wants to nominate Richard High. Shit, dude. Angry Cops. Says Richard High, a.k.a. Angry Cops, who is a detective with the SVU units in Buffalo Police Departments, blew the fucking door off the huge scandal with the Buffalo Public School District. Obviously, we played that on yesterday's show or the day before. And children in the district have been sexually abused, physically abused, and almost abducted. And officials at the school who were mandated reporters failed to report this to police. Cheers to you guys, and cheers to Angry Cops, you beautiful, bald bastard. We all have your back. Thank you for doing the Lord's work out there. We've gotten a lot of messages about that, man, since we shared that clip on the show. And, yeah, we're going to have them on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes, of next week?
I think that's right, yeah.
Great. Yeah, look it up. And since, fuck it, we're heading to the Derby, let's read one more. This one is submission by Evan Manthai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's from Oregon. Been a listener since Pegging Explained. It's day one homie for you right there. Nominating Chris Jones Living. Says, I'm nominating paramedic Chris Jones from Crescent, Oregon. The only other man to see my wife's vagina. What? 5 years ago.
Odd.
Wait, he's going into it apparently. 5 years ago, my wife unexpectedly went into early labor with our first child at our home alone. I was at work 30 miles away and got a frantic phone call telling me to come home, after which she called 911. Living 2 miles from the nearest fire station has its perks. Paramedic Chris Jones and team were there within minutes and had delivered my son on the bathroom floor. Holy shit. Chris was the first person to hold my son and took great care of him and my wife. I made it through the front door 5 to 10 minutes later after driving home like a demon. 2.5 months in the NICU, emergency surgery, and a slew of continuous medical stuff. And here we are. This is awesome, man. My son now is about to turn 5 on April 30th. Which is also Big Jerry's birthday here. He'll be my drinking bro of the week as well. We got the same birthday. And loves wood shop tools, throwing rocks, moving dirt, and thinks farts are hilarious. That's all kids, by the way. And I think about Chris all the time and wish him the best for safely bringing my son into this world 5 years ago. We do not know what we would have done without him. To Chris Jones, the only other man to see my wife's vagina. P.S. I'm sure it wasn't pretty down there.
Oh, okay.
Well, during labor. Yeah, I told you I didn't agree with my wife. She was like, I don't want you to see that.
Yeah.
She goes, stay up the top part. Bob looked every time. I never looked out of respect for my wife. You kind of have those conversations before going into labor. So, yeah.
I think Rich is actually going to be the following Tuesday, the 13th.
Okay, great.
We'll check it out.
Okay.
There's another guy coming in studio next week.
I got you. Yeah, but he'll be on the show soon, and then we'll really get into it. But thank you for the submissions. Thanks again for everybody who invested in wefunder.com/hardaf seltzer. It is now closed, and again, that was the government, not us, or else we just would have left it open forever. And we greatly appreciate it. I can tell you this now that it's all over, because we just got our Q1 numbers versus last Q1, and we have doubled over Q1 of last year, which is fucking insane. So we're pumping
especially
this out.
considering we weren't able to make product for a full month.
No.
So we only did 2 out of the 3 months, and we still doubled. So.
Which is nuts, man. So we're on a crazy pace this year, and early estimates are over 50,000. One more investor, whoever that's going to be, comes in.
Yeah, it'll be double that.
We could double that. It's just a matter of the 8-week delay there from ordering products and then obviously getting the money back from the distributors and all that other stuff. But it is a good problem to have, and we're extremely grateful to you guys. So thank you very much. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. I'm going to go home and eat some Omaha steak here for D'Anthony Holloway. I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.